The Nut House.
Yes, welcome to the Nut House, baby.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody in Mega Jordan or everyone else around the world through the World Wide Web. This is the morning roast for April 4, 2013. Can you smell what the roast is brewing?
Oh hell,
I could smell it.
we're gonna have to hear that every morning now.
I know.
Derek,
That's a good tagline.
Derek found something that he's gonna ram into the earth until the end of time. And
One morning he's gonna change it up.
this is Derek's news. This is Derek's news.
Well, at least until WrestleMania.
Right, that's true. Or until G.I. Joe Retaliation is not number one at the box office. Since Dwayne The Rock is in that movie.
Yes, this is the number one movie this
Right.
week.
There we go, babies.
Well, can you smell it?
No, not yet.
I
Not
smell
yet.
something.
I'll check it.
Do you know how to do it?
Woo.
No, not
Oh,
really.
then I'll show you later.
Okay.
Don't waste your
Anyway,
time.
it's 8:05.
Maybe Irv can help show
Okay,
you.
it's 8:05 a.m.
Late again?
It's 8:05 a.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time in Macon, Georgia. It's 46 degrees outside. It's raining and pouring. The old man is snoring. It's 46 degrees with a high of 52 and a low of 44.
Well, I'm hoping that we're not going to be boring.
Well, what do you do?
No, I don't think we're going to be boring.
Yes, gotcha.
I think we got some good stuff today.
I think so too.
I think
We always
got-
have good stuff.
Well, we got some good. You got some news, Urban, about a forum today you want to get to later on. I said you got some news about a forum you want to get to.
Oh
later
yeah,
on.
yeah.
I got a wing dang doodle here. I got the next.
He said,
I got the next two files on two more officers from
How do they
Precinct
look?
3.
Give us a taste.
Oh, no. We're going to
You'll see.
save this a little bit, but I'll tell you what, this is a very interesting file in here. We'll get to it later. One of them is very interesting.
Good.
We are
That's what we want.
digging deeper. And
There was a friend of mine who told me one time, she's probably dead now, but she was in her 70s.
Oh, okay.
But I went to Ann Arbor, Michigan. That's one of my past stories. Ex-lover, I went over there. Blah, blah. Anyway, I'm at a house and I'm really quiet. At that time, I was very, very shy. And I said,
Were you
to her-
squatting at this house?
I mean, we were just hanging out. Yeah, we spent about 2 weeks in the house.
Yeah.
And I asked, we had just moved to Michigan. And I said to her, what can I do? What more can I do than just to show this guy that I love him? She said, looked at me and said, remain interesting.
Right.
Remain interesting.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're an interesting character, don't you think?
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Remain interesting.
So if you're not interesting, what do you think you are?
Boring.
Okay, that's a key word today.
Yes.
Well, we'll see.
We've
We'll see if
used
it
that
comes. We'll
word
see if
already.
it comes up on Dictionary of Word Origins later on.
I'll probably tell you tomorrow when I went to this event that I'm going to today.
What time is this event?
6 o'clock
And it's where?
on Shirling Drive.
And what building on Shirley?
I have the address. I'm not sure what building.
Who's all going there?
It's going to be Danny Glover
Yes.
and Elaine Lucas.
Not the Hollywood Danny Glover.
Yeah, and
Lethal weapon.
Yeah.
and I'm sure that some of the other candidates from different areas.
But those two
that
are
would've
putting
been
it
funny.
on,
Correct.
and those two are the two that are going against each other.
Yeah, correct. Yep.
So is it a forum or are they debating? Is it
Debating
it's a
forum,
debate.
kind of.
Well, it's two different things. Is it more of like a town hall meeting where they want the people to tell them what they want for their community, or are the two going to debate?
It's a debate.
Wow, they should call it a debate. It would get a lot more attention.
And you know what?
What?
I'm looking at Lucas. We were going back and forth last night. I'm looking at Lucas. She could beat the crap out of this kid any day, I think.
Well, I think. See, I said that before. I think I said that back when they were trying to push consolidation through. I said just because you people think consolidation
Well, I asked
is
her
a
to come
better
on the
thing,
show, and she said, okay, when?
yeah, bring her on. That'll be a wing dang dinger.
Oh, yes.
But
Definitely.
no, I mean I said it way back before. I said just because this thing consolidates, don't think you're going to get that government you want. Everybody assumed, oh, we consolidate, we're going to get rid of every bad apple that's in existence in this town. And no. I think it's going to be the opposite. I think you're going to get Jack Ellis again as mayor. I
Yeah.
think you're going to get Lucas in there again, and you're going to get a few others in there again that are that a lot of people around here feel are holding the city back. And then what happens when that happens? People start leaving
I'm not
again.
sure.
Well, I think people start leaving. The population of Macon goes down again, even more. We'll see, but you never
Well,
know.
all I can tell you is this: if Jack Ellis gets in there, it's going to be more mayhem.
Well, it's not going to be as bad as Rickard. And I thought I never thought those words would come out of my mouth.
You know, I
Because-
swear to you, I say the same thing.
Because I was not a Jack Ellis fan when he was mayor, and I gave him hell about things too publicly. But I tell you what,
What's
Rickard-
wrong with you, Three Bears?
Rickard is worse.
Three Bears is already thinking negative here.
Well, she said, so are we. Three Bears, sweetie, how are
She
you?
said, "Oh Lord, it's going to be one of those days. If you put your mind to that, it's going to be exactly how you think. Think of it as it's not going to be one of those
Well,
days.
you mean one of those days, Three Bears, for your life there where you are, or with this morning
I don't know.
show with us?
She's writing, "Oh Lord, it's going to be one of those days."
I know. I'm trying to get her
I
to
have a
respond.
feeling. Well, she said, "I have a felon."
A felon. I don't have a felon. I got a misdemeanor.
Vorpalbite, don't be stupid. Consolidation's going to remove the highest elected officials from your county. The sheriff.
Somebody
No, it's
this
not.
Vorpal bite.
That's constitutional and it's a federal power grab.
Hey, I never was a supporter of this consolidation thing. Everybody else, well, not everybody.
Well,
but
I
a
wasn't,
lot
then
of
I
other
became.
people were.
I was a turncoat.
I don't think it's necessarily a good thing. But that's a whole nother topic
Oh yes,
that might be for today's
All right,
show.
guys, are we awake or what?
very awake.
I'm awake as hell. I got up about 6 o'clock, so I've been awake.
No. I got up at around 7:30. God bless you.
Thank you.
Bless you, you need it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been told that before.
Let me see. My nuts itch. Good morning.
What? Who?
My nuts itch. There's a guy here.
Oh, okay.
Good morning.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Thank you again.
Who?
Ahula.
Anyway, Vorpalbite. It's an unconstitutional and it's a federal power grab. He's right about that.
I know. That's what I said. Of course it's a power grab. That's what I couldn't believe everybody around here fell for it.
Well,
Well,
they
it's too
wanted-
late now.
I kept trying to preach. I said, think of this adage, less is more.
Yes, but you
And,
got to
and when
remember.
they kept passing off this whole less, we'll have less politicians. We'll get rid of half of them. We'll have less. It'll be better because less politicians. But not in this case. Less is more, I believe. More
Well,
government.
each politician will have more power.
Ah,
That's really what it's about, right?
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
Then that's one brain as opposed to 20 people trying to think about something. Nobody gets anything done.
but they're still not going to get anything done. Because they're going to have a lot of people in there that are conflicting. You're going to have one side of people in there that already have problems with certain people that are in there.
Right.
And like you just said about the Glover and the Lucas situation, I think that Elaine Lucas is going to stay in there. I really
Yeah.
do.
I believe she is also.
I'm not saying she should. I'm saying I think she's going to. Maybe.
That's great.
Yes,
that was like you when you go, "Da."
That's a movie poster, but that's a movie poster for a completely different movie that Derek should come up with.
Okay.
You got to come up
You
with a
look like
story.
that little kid in the movie.
It is
Okay.
8:13,
Oh.
29 seconds in the AM. Yeah.
He could be your son. If you had a son. Well, 46 degrees,
Cup and a
folks.
half?
You know what I thought this
Yeah.
morning, guys?
What? Oh, you think
You have a thought?
I did. And
You
guess
had a
what?
thought,
And
one
for,
thought.
and for once, it had nothing to do with me, really. I was not being selfish. It actually had to do with the show.
Oh.
That is what?
It actually, for once, it wasn't selfish. It wasn't self-centered. It had to do with the show collectively. My thought this morning. And my thought was, I noticed with this new Vaughn, we can't be featured, right? It
Yeah,
doesn't.
you are.
But it doesn't
You're
go
the
up to
first
like
one.
270 like Blog TV
Yeah,
used
it does.
to.
It shows
It does?
above, yeah.
Okay, I've never seen the
When you're
numbers.
the first one in line,
But does it show
when
numbers?
you're the first one,
Yeah.
when they go to the main page,
Right.
the video's up.
Does it show the numbers though?
On
Like-
our-
like-
No, it doesn't.
Like
I
Blog.
showed you that.
Actually, it does.
It
It
does?
does. Down below
Well,
the chat.
point it out to me, Ed,
Come
next
here.
time.
Come
I'm talking about when we're
No, come here
featured.
right now.
When we're featured, point it. I was thinking that the whole time. I go, I kind of miss. I was thinking, I kind of miss going, hey, we're featured. Thank you, Blog
Yeah.
TV, because we haven't said that on here.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
Right now, we're number
And
5.
Yeah, we're number
number
five.
13 viewers.
But
But
when we're up here, does the number go up to like 300 like it did on Blog TV?
When we're up there, we're on the main page.
Right, but do our numbers
I don't know. I have to check.
Right,
that.
and we had a number like 792 one time.
Oh, did we? Oh, great.
Ron's not as big as
Right.
Yeah, our numbers are better here.
I just had that thought this morning. I thought, wait a minute, I missed that whole like flickering number that used to go during Blog TV.
Yeah.
I miss that too.
I missed that, and I thought, wait a minute, does this do that?
That number was bullshit anyway.
Well, I know, but it's
I
still it's
miss
still
you.
It's smoke up your ass.
it's still
Derek?
it still made us feel good though to
You
see
see
those
that?
numbers.
15 viewers,
Yes,
followers,
I feel sorry for those
and
15
views
viewers.
altogether. We had over 3,000
I,
views.
I really feel sorry for those 15 viewers. Right now. No, we're okay. We're getting there.
Let's
But
hope
yeah,
so.
we have some home ding dang dinger wingers. I wanted to bring this up, guys, giggly guys.
Go ahead, Winger.
I don't know why we did not bring this up because this is actually from April 2nd's Telegraph, and this is my brother's birthday edition, and I finally got a chance to look in it, and there was a couple of things I wanted to read. Later on, I'm gonna get to this letter from a Sharon Dean letter to the editor concerning the Sutton Davis
There's a
case.
new editor now.
But this is what I wanted to talk about right here. And again, this is a few days old. But and we never talked about this as far as I know. As far as I know, we didn't talk about this.
What are we talking about?
Going national. Centennial, Colorado. DA will seek death penalty in Colorado movie theater attack. For James Holmes, that is, justice's death, in quotes, prosecutors said Monday in announcing they will seek his execution if he's convicted in the Colorado movie theater attack that killed 12 people. The decision, disclosed in court just days after prosecutors publicly rejected Holmes' offer to plead guilty if they took the death penalty off the table, elevated the already sensational case to a new level and could cause it to drag on for years. Quote, it's my determination and my intention that in this case, for James Egan Holmes, justice is death, District Attorney George Brockler said. Okay, I wanted to bring this up besides it just being regular news, and it updates us on a topic we had on this show when this happened, this whole theater shooting. We've talked about this.
I'm going to go get my earpiece. I'm not hearing anybody.
All right, well, I'll say it again when you get back.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I'll say it to Derek and Ed now. Doesn't this prosecutor realize that these guys are going to plead insanity? Right?
Obviously,
the
yes.
guy's insane, right? Or he sure as hell looks it, right?
Right.
So I thought once you plead insanity, that you can't give the death penalty anyway, right?
Right.
Right? No matter what state we're in, the death penalty can't be given if someone's legally insane.
Yes.
So, you hear what I said, Irvin? You looking for your earpiece?
Say again.
I said, when I read this, it kind of threw me off because I was assuming this guy was going to definitely be found insane, or if not, his attorneys would have him plead insane,
Yeah,
right?
right.
So if you have an insanity plea, or if you are truly insane, you're not up for the death penalty.
That's correct.
But this prosecutor, I guess, feels differently.
Because
Right.
I think people are abusing that law.
Yeah, but with this
They're
guy,
all going around
Right.
crazy, and you're not crazy.
right?
You're
But
just an
but
asshole.
let's go. But is this guy not crazy? The guy that shot up the theater?
Oh yeah.
I mean,
well, take a look.
we've seen pictures
He's
of this
scary
guy.
looking.
This guy, I think, is crazy.
Yeah.
I don't
Oh,
think
yes.
he's faking it.
No,
I don't think he's acting.
I don't think so.
Okay. I mean, maybe it's a technicality. Maybe this prosecutor just wants to have it out there,
Yeah.
and then have the judge throw it out.
Yeah.
But he wanted to make sure that everyone knew he was going for death. But
Well, so they're gonna give him the death penalty?
no, well, that's what the prosecutor's calling for.
Right.
The DA is calling for it.
Yeah, but did you see that kid's face?
I know that. Well, that was
He's
my
scary looking.
That's my whole point. Is that
Not even a mother could love that face.
But my whole point is, I mean, maybe Vorpalbite, with all his wisdom and knowledge,
And retardness.
maybe Vorpalbite can explain, or anybody else out there, not to take away anything from Three Bears or anybody else that's joined us. Good
He
morning.
says it was heavy drugs. And that's going
Horrible
to shoot
bite.
him down.
Vorpalbite, you don't think that guy had an iota of craziness in him? With that
Yeah.
wide-eyed look and that. Come on.
He says, I think the judge even ordered him to be truth serum. You never know.
Well, anyway,
I think
just,
they do that a lot more now.
What? True serum?
That especially if
But
it's
that's a
big
placebo. I mean, does true serum really work? Isn't
Yeah,
that,
they
no,
give 'em
that's
true
all
serum.
a mental thing. It's a placebo, right?
Yeah.
They tell the kid that it's true serum.
Yeah.
Makes them think it's true serum, which then kind of way makes them spill the beans. But in actuality, the drug itself is not making you do that.
Right.
I mean, that's what
I
was
heard
taught.
that.
I heard that too.
But you never know. Sodium pentanol most certainly does work.
Does it, Vorpalbite?
That's Vorpalbite.
Vorpalbite, have you ever had it administered to you? Because if you have, you obviously haven't had it during the morning roast.
Wow.
Did you hear that, Corporal?
Because your ass ain't telling too much truth on here for a while.
Yeah, I think he's not
Just kidding.
a big, fat, heavy guy, but a skinny, kind of like the kid that killed everybody.
Vorpalbite is in Georgia. He's local. I think he's playing a character when he says he's in Gary, Indiana. Gary, Indiana.
He says it's in Indiana. He's probably like a few blocks away.
He's actually like a federal agent.
Actually, no, I'll take that back. He's too smart for living in this neighborhood.
He's a federal
Yeah.
agent that's
Yeah.
been sent here to watch over us.
You
and
never know.
report on us. Yeah.
Anyway, so.
But anyway, so they're looking for the death penalty on this guy. And I'm going to say now that this isn't going to happen.
Well,
There-
everybody,
he should
and
get
there
it.
isn't one person that's going to argue with it.
I mean, he should get it. I'm all an eye for an eye kind of guy. But I just think the way this justice system's set up, this guy's going to have the crazy factor.
You think he's going to walk?
No, he's not going to walk. He's going to spend the rest of his life in jail as a lunatic. But I don't think he's getting the death penalty. Because that's just the way this justice system in this country is like you said, you say you're crazy, then that exempts you from getting the death penalty.
Yeah, well, I mean, but he does look nuts, dude. So
Well, I agree.
it's
He
going to
looks-
be very hard for people to be convinced that he's not.
I
But
agree.
at the same time, there are going to be a lot of people wanting him dead.
Well, yeah,
So.
yeah. And I guess maybe the prosecutor / the DA.
Nobody's going to argue with them.
I guess the D. Well, I disagree with that. The defense attorney's going to argue with him. The defense attorney's going to go to try to keep his client alive.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just his.
Which is another stage. It's two trials, really.
Yeah, it's what it is. But anyway,
He's going through the first one. Once he's done with this one, he's got to go through another one for the death penalty.
well, that's what they said in the article, that he's going to be. It's going to be a long process, but I don't think he's going to get the death penalty. I think it's going to be thrown out because they're going to decide the guy is crazy.
Never
They're going
know.
to decide the guy's crazy.
Let's see what happens. Anything you
Oh,
have
yeah.
to say to this?
Yeah, definitely.
Derek?
Speaking of crazy,
Speaking of crazy, yesterday we talked about the 30-plus school officials and teachers that are
Yes.
being indicted
yes.
for basically forging and changing the grades on standardized tests.
Yeah,
of some
that's
of the
terrible,
students.
man.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's really terrible. Well, here's something else about it. I guess somewhere in the educational field in Auburn, Auburn University says that Auburn paid players and changed grades per report, which is a updated story from Atlanta Journal-Constitution. Says that Auburn's football program is facing blockbuster allegations of paying players racism and changing grades to keep players eligible after a website story that was posted on roopstogo.com by Selena Roberts, a former senior writer from Sports Illustrated and a former columnist at the New York Times. Back in March 2011, four Auburn football players, including Booker T. Washington star Antonio Goodwin, were arrested and charged with armed robbery. And a former Auburn safety, Mike McNeil, decided to open up about his version of events and the story behind him before his trial later this month.
Cut them cigs, man.
And one of the stories was talked about the NCAA allows less than $50 a day to be spent by student-athlete recruiters on visiting prospects. But McNeil recalls coaches giving him $500 to entertain blue-chip player Dre Kirkpatrick, one of the top prep players in the country back in 2008. And he says, quote, "This is how it goes. Coach has certain players that they trust, and when I say trust, I mean on the field and off the field. It's within the family, it's within the system. I'm a star player, and I'm a likable person, and a recruit comes to my position, then, of course, I'm going to take him under my wing. And if a star recruit was in town, you would get a lot more than the NCAA limit." So basically, they've been like schmoozing them, greasing their palms and stuff.
Right.
And he's also said he slid about for himself. Will Mush, the defensive coordinator, Will Muschamp, was called into his office and basically gave him slid $400 over to him. And he went to a drawer and says, is this good enough to, I guess, for a week or whatever. And
I want to go to this. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're in your own world over there, Urban. Let's get to this. Let's finish this up. Yeah, and this is Auburn, which is Alabama.
Yeah.
So I guess we could say that the charges of racism doesn't really surprise us.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we always had those problems with Mississippi.
Yeah,
right.
Mississippi.
Of late. I don't know, Derek. You're the sports guy. What do you think? I mean, as far as what do you think
about whether or not this, but to change grades
is this going to affect? How should I put this?
What eligibility of?
Well, not only eligibility, but pardon my ignorance. Auburn's in the SEC, right?
Yes, SEC
okay.
With Georgia and Florida.
Is this going to affect, you think, anything having to do with their rankings in the SEC, or actually, as you said, the eligibility? I mean, when this stuff happens, see, I don't follow this sort of stuff. I don't follow college football.
To a certain extent, it could be because they could lose. People could lose recruit players.
Right.
They could lose, or they could lose their standing as far as like Notre Dame or Penn State was going through.
Right.
But that's a totally different subject because it was through sexual molestation.
That was charged. But my thing is this: is when stuff like this happens, and it's proven, does it completely suspend these teams from those divisions for like a season or 2 or 3, or do they still continue to allow them to participate in the next season?
I guess.
I'm serious. This might sound like a dumb question, but I don't follow. I don't follow.
That's a good question
whatsoever.
The thing is, I don't think the charges are punitive. Some educators won't think it's punitive enough. Like one of my teachers that I had back when I first started UGA, Dr. Jan Kemp. Well, actually, the late Dr. Jan Kemp, because she died back in 2008. Yeah. She was before I arrived to UGA back during the early to mid '80s. I think Coffee Guy would probably know more about it because he was in school.
There.
Yeah. She sued the University of Georgia like $2 or $3 million because basically they wanted some of the football players to change the grades. Maybe not necessarily change their grades, but basically find a way to keep them eligible despite having substandard grades in their classes.
Yeah. Right.
And and she didn't like the part that they were pushing them, passing them along through classes through like some high schools do.
Right.
Pass them along hope that they would make it big in the NFL.
Right.
And because not every high school or college player be able to make it in the pros. I mean, who knows? I mean, you saw what happened to Kevin Ware, which I have an update on that. Whether or not he'll be able to play college basketball, or let alone NBA basketball, pro basketball, because he's a sophomore.
Right.
He's a sophomore now. He still has 2 more years, or 1 year if he goes straight to the pros after.
Wasn't there a sophomore one time who went right to the pros?
Yeah.
There was somebody.
That's happened a few times.
Was that LeBron?
I think that happened a few times.
No, that wasn't Brian. He went straight to the pros right after high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Are you
saying.
guys on sports already?
Yeah.
Because I got the video for sports.
Which is good.
Oh, great.
Cool.
But does it have to do with this story? Let's finish this story up. And then-
All right.
Okay.
Well, we need to know that's through this
well,
story.
anyway,
Okay.
the thing.
Hopefully we don't lose any viewers.
Yeah.
The thing
well,
is,
we're doing it before Gamer Girl. No, she is here. I'm sorry. I was gonna say we're doing it before Gamer Girl got here, but she's here.
Three Bears says, Irv and Derek, check your Facebook pages.
Okay.
Okay.
But I'm just saying, like, it could really be punitive. I mean, I don't think that some of them, in some cases, may not be punitive enough, punishable enough for them.
Right.
Because, I mean, unless it's something, it has to be something really, really terrible, like something that happened in Penn State for order to people to actually care to do something. Yeah.
Right.
Hey,
Hey,
we got video?
hey, yeah.
Okay.
Throw it on. I
Well,
need to
preface,
go to the
what does
bathroom.
this have to do with?
Some guy with really fucking long arms saved a dolphin.
Okay. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Roll it.
All right. Sticking with
Well, I
sports.
go to the bathroom.
Ed has a
Thank
sports
you, Irv.
story.
Make sure you close the door.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
It's spray.
and stop coughing.
Yeah, I will.
Shit.
Okay.
Is there spray in here? Yeah.
Kings assistant coach Clifford Gray doesn't mind showing off his NBA championship ring.
I'm blessed.
Winner of two, the one he wears he earned as a player with the Golden State Warriors during the 74-75 season.
I was a rebounding shot blocker.
A fierce but undersized center who relied on his long arms.
That was one of the things that helped me as a basketball player because I wasn't 7 foot, I wasn't 6'10" or 6'11". So my wingspan enabled me to play with a lot of bigger guys.
Did you ever, in your wildest dream, though, think your wingspan would be used for other things?
No, not really. No, not in the case of the Dolphin story, no.
In April of 1978, a banged-up Clifford Gray was getting ready to hop on a plane and rejoin his team after going through rehab. That's when he received the strangest phone call of his life.
They're going to have you come to Marine World. There's a problem, and they thought that, perhaps your reach might be able to help a critical situation.
Marine World wanted Clifford Gray's reach, his long arms. At 6'9" with a wingspan of well over 8 feet, each arm measures 45 inches long, just under 4 feet. And when you stand next to Coach Ray, you quickly find out there's a reason why Marine World asked him, and not a regular guy like me.
It's a very unusual request. We're asking you to put your hand down a dolphin's throat. You'll be saving, one of their top show animals. Who he was a star at the park. His name was Dr. Spock.
Spock had swallowed a large bolt, and marine biologists wanted to avoid surgery. So they brought in Ray, lubed up his arm, and put him to work.
They explained the breathing capacity of the dolphin, how many minutes that I will actually be able to keep my arm and hand down his throat. And they told me what I would experience. They said, okay, a dolphin has 2 stomachs. Well, I didn't know that. I got through all the first stomach, got into the second stomach. It was a little interesting where I was like this all the way to my chin.
Boring.
Down this
No, it's not.
dolphin's throat. But on the first attempt, I actually got the bolt, this big screw about like that. I got it. I got my hand on it. All I can say is that I actually felt like a doctor or a veterinarian. He actually was very calm through the whole thing. And then later on, when I went down to the park, I think he realized that I was trying to help him, because then whenever I would go to the park, he would always come up and acknowledge that I was there.
You remember?
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Clifford Ray, a hero to Dolphins, definitely a true story.
I tell people all the time that was my 15 minutes of fame. I'm thinking, this is a shark. I don't know if I try this.
Awesome, man.
Yes, awesome
That's
story.
right.
I like it.
Yes, despite
I don't
despite
care what
people
Irvin
saying,
said.
That was boring.
No, it
Saving
Where's
a
the
dolphin.
word again?
Saving a dolphin is boring.
that was not boring.
I think it was kind of like
But it,
I
come
like
on.
it.
out of the.
He looked like a basketball player. Who
He
was
is a
that?
basketball
See, you didn't hear
player.
the damn story. You're in there getting your whatever.
Yeah, I was taking a dump.
the
Drop
guy-
his
Yeah,
kids
you
off
want to
at
know?
school.
The guy did a good thing, and you gotta love dolphins. Who doesn't love a dolphin?
Yeah.
Who's ever heard a bad story about a dolphin?
Come on.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
And I mean the Miami Dolphins.
Why isn't he
also.
out there?
You gotta love the Miami
Why
Dolphins.
isn't he out there saving some of these kids that are on
Well,
drugs?
if they called him and said we need to reach your 8.5-foot long arm down a kid's throat to save him, he probably would. They called him because the Dolphins the one that choked on some shit. that
Yeah,
needed
the
to
dog
get-
was
I mean,
choking on something.
God damn.
All right, I missed the video.
You did. That's
you did.
another case of Irvin just like commenting on something he doesn't know about. Irvin's gone. He goes,
All I
"Man,
saw was a basketball player and a
sit
big
there."
fish.
You
I mean,
did.
a big
you
dolphin.
just saw a guy sitting there talking, and he was very
Yeah, like,
very monotone, and you thought, oh hell, you thought I could get that was by sitting next to Derek Barrett, right? Anyway, I liked it, Ed. I appreciate your story.
No, that was good. I mean, whatever.
And I like
But
how
Bean
it-
agrees with me.
No, Bean agrees
Bean
with us.
agrees with me that it was boring.
Did she?
Yes.
Bean said she agreed with Ant.
She says, yes, it is.
She was banging her head against the wall.
Oh, okay. She's saying yes, it is boring. No, Bean, it's not boring.
Come on, you got to be open-minded.
Boring.
We'll go with what Vorbelbite says. Vorbelbite, you are the final
Listen, I'm
decision
just trying to
maker.
stay on the
Boring or
same
not?
train here.
Yes.
Remember we said, I like that. Remember you said the word boring? You
Come
said
on,
Torrance?
you want a piece of me?
Go ahead.
Come on.
That's a good one.
That's a great one, Ed. See? That,
Bean, you can't
that kind
hate
of a head thinking is what we're talking about, Ed.
Yes. That kind of head is what we're talking
Exactly.
about. Now, you want to jump? Is that our last sports, or you got something else, Derek?
Well,
Because we're not coming back. I'm telling you now.
Hey, wait, is twerking a sport?
If we
No.
leave
Okay, 'cause we
sports,
gotta talk
Derek,
about twerking.
We're
You know
not
what it
going
is?
back.
we're not going back unless it's breaking news.
Okay.
Unless something
Like
breaks.
somebody
Derek-
just got
Derek's
shot in the
gonna
head.
He's going to explain to us
well,
what
there
twerking
is a.
is.
Well,
But
I do.
get your sports out of the way now, Derek,
Do you know
because
what it
we're
is?
not going
Get
back.
your
Yes.
get your sports
It's the
fix
Brian
now.
Banks.
We're not going to
It's
give
a
you
Brian
another
Banks.
fix.
Okay,
right.
okay. Well,
No.
if we had any stores of fedoras, changes their store too. Okay.
Nice
Boring. Everybody wears damn
They're a
hats.
boring team too.
Huh?
Do you know what twerking is?
Yes.
Okay, because we got to cover that.
All right, here we go.
Okay, but okay.
And
Those who don't know, because I didn't know till yesterday.
Okay.
Asking him if he knows what
and
twerking
then Irving's
is
going to tell us about fapping.
is like asking Scarface if he knows what cocaine is.
You know what fapping
Of course,
is?
Derek knows what twerking is. He's only done 50
You know-
stories
you know
on
what
here
fapping
about it.
is?
Yes.
Fabric?
Do you know what fapping is?
Fapping.
Well, yeah.
Fapping?
Yeah.
Well, Irving's going to tell us about
Oh.
Fapping. Okay.
Famming. What is that?
Fapping.
Anyway, let's do sports.
Well, yeah. I have.
Yeah, make it
well,
spicy, I don't
one
understand.
last sports story that I have, at least something big, major.
Right.
Well, we talked about the story of Brian Banks, who was falsely accused of rape by a woman.
I remember that a
and
few
went
years back.
A few years back, and he went. He was promised to go to USC back in high school, and he was falsely accused. Well, and the woman basically said, "Let bygones be bygones," and basically caught her up until found out that she basically lied. He was set free
Yep.
last year.
I remember
Yeah.
it well.
Well, and actually,
And guess who he's about to play for?
he's going to
Did
be
they let
playing.
him go?
Yeah,
Guess
he
who
let
he's
him
playing
go.
for?
He has
that
been
him?
signed by.
Is that him?
Yeah, the
He's been
story.
signed by the
Yeah,
Falcons.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
that
I'll send you the
picture,
picture. He has been signed by the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, indeed.
They got a lot of like felons in there. You know, they have Michael
This,
Vick.
but this
and-
guy wasn't a felon. He was
He
found
wasn't a
innocent.
felon.
You can't
He was
charge
found
the guy of
innocent,
anything.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, that's a whole lot of people. That's felons in
They
Major League
like to,
Baseball.
they like to
Dick
take
Irvin.
an underdog. and
Irvin,
put
where
him
the
out
hell
there.
have you been? Sports is full of felons.
Shoot.
That's true.
Where the hell have
Cobb.
you been?
All the way back since Ty Cobb days. I mean,
Shit, even before that, probably.
it says, we're pleased to have Brian on our team, said General Manager Thomas Dimitrov. We had a chance to work him out last year, and he had been monitoring his progress since then. He has worked extremely hard with his chance over the last year, and he's shown us that he has prepared
Yeah.
for this opportunity.
That's cool.
Brian Banks, he did try out last year with the Los Angeles Locomotives of the United Football League.
Los Angeles Locomotives.
And obviously they went out of business, the UFL. But since then, he did receive tryouts for Kansas City, San Diego, Kansas City Chiefs, San Diego Chargers, and the San Francisco 49ers, who went to the Super Bowl earlier this year.
Yeah, baby.
But and even went with Seattle Seahawks, but they didn't show, they didn't promise anything about whether or not he was good enough to sign. But the Atlanta Falcons gave him a chance, and so kudos to Brian Banks on his road to redemption.
Yes.
Congratulations.
But it sounds to me like he doesn't have to redeem himself because he didn't do anything wrong to begin with.
Right.
Exactly.
And everyone's going to look at him like it's some kind of a semi-hero.
Okay.
So,
You aren't a rapist.
the
Isn't that
bean-
terrible?
The Bean, we're almost there. We're almost at
Think
the point
about
of
that
no
for
more
a minute.
sports.
I mean, to be put in that category, well, in fact, you weren't a rapist. I mean, it's like saying, well, in fact, you weren't a drug addict, or in fact, you weren't a murderer.
I think it's worse than the
I
drug
think- I think it's
it's
really
worse
bad.
than the drug addict thing. Not necessarily the murder, but the drug. I think it's definitely.
Yeah,
worse.
what's even worse is the person who accused him for that
Yeah.
hasn't even seen day one of jail time yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm maybe.
Knowing that he's innocent.
Yeah, and that's why.
That's horrible.
I mean, I'm like this. If you're a person,
Now, so she just walked away. He didn't sue her.
I don't think he did. I can't remember the story. I don't think he did do a
Man, I'd have every dime
he
she
didn't
ever had.
countersue, did he? Or did
Every
he?
no,
dime.
not
I
that,
don't
not
think
that
he
I
did.
know of, but I'm saying he should get back.
He should get compensation. He's
Oh yeah,
lost how
definitely.
many years?
5-6 years. I
There
think
you go.
Well, no,
and
no,
at
no,
an
wait,
estimated
wait,
Or-
value.
or at
Wait,
least-
no, he was in school. Wasn't he in high school when it happened?
he was in high school at the time. He was in
Yeah,
high
so
school
he didn't lose
senior.
compensation. He wasn't working. Now he lost time in life.
Yes, he
But
wasn't able to go
if
to
you're
college.
Saying, yeah, if you're saying
5
USC.
years.
if you're saying compensation though, he can't get
It's
money
awful.
for loss of work.
Well, I'm glad he's out. That is a good story, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you.
See, that's a story that inspires people.
Well,
You-
so does the dolphin
you
story.
can
Like
come
the
out of a
dolphin
rattle.
story doesn't inspire.
Well, it's not every day I meet a dolphin.
No, but I like how we went from the Dolphins to the Falcons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we covered
And now
my
we're going
team,
to go twerking.
we covered
Yes.
my team, and we covered his team. The Dolphins, the Falcons. Now we got to do a New York Jets or New York Giants story.
Yeah.
You got a story about the Giants or the Jets?
No,
or
no.
anything?
Well, all I
Okay.
got is I thought we were going to go past sports.
Okay.
Wait,
But
Well,
I have some news here.
Yeah, but you want to do twerking first?
Boring.
Because let's do twerking.
Twerking.
Because
Well,
twerking is close to sports more so.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's physical.
Well, this has sports
Because
in
it
it.
is
It
quite-
mentions
it can be quite voyeuristic.
It mentions sports.
Okay, cover
okay?
your sports.
It mentions sports.
Go ahead.
So that's good enough.
Do it. Okay.
All right, ready?
And then we'll go to twerking.
Despite Wednesday's dreary weather, the lights shine brightly on Macon as leaders from across Georgia got a first-hand look at the city's progress downtown. Georgia Municipal Association and the Georgia Cities Foundation are rolling the annual Heart and Soul bus tour through 9 Georgia cities, including Macon and Milledgeville, through Friday. Those taking the tour, I would love to go on this tour, included state agency executives, economic development professionals, business leaders, downtown developers, and philanthropists who are getting a chance to see cities that are revitalizing and developing their downtowns. After starting in Eatonton, the tour traveled through Milledgeville and arrived in Macon during the afternoon. Tour members stayed the night before heading to Hawkinsville on Thursday morning. After the initial stop at the Okomoki National Monument, tour members got a look at Mercer University's new football lacrosse stadium, now under construction. Mayor Rickett and Mercer Senior Vice President Larry Brumley said it was an opportunity to show the college's involvement with the city's initiatives such as the College Hill Alliance. Brumley said the school revived football program has drawn so much interest from the community that what was originally going to be a 4,000 seat stadium expanded to 7,450 permanent seats to meet ticket demand. Rickett also told those in attendance about the success of Mercer's Robert McDuffie Center for the Strings. In addition to football, we've got culture, y'all, Rickett said, drawing laughs. After passing through Mercer University, tour members learned about plans to renovate the Dannenberg building downtown. It's been having the tour here, Rickett said. It's exciting. These are economic development people. These are the people who are well connected in the state, so it's a thrill and a delight to have them here. It's a chance to showcase Macon. We hope that people better, that we have better people informed about the opportunities we have here in Macon. Mike Starr, president, I'm almost done. Mike Starr, president of the Georgia Cities Foundation, said the cities selected for the tour are those that have drawn attention for progress they are making in developing their downtowns. We try to get cities that are cusp of big changes, he said. Though Macon is going through consolidation with Bibb County, Starr said that he wasn't focused on it, he was more focused on the tour. More interesting to the group is the recent surge of movies filmed there, including 42, which will be released nationwide next week, and The Need for Speed, which begins filming in Macon later this month. Yeah, you guys better stay on top of that. Billy Parrish, a downtown development consultant from Dunwoody, said he's been impressed with the changes Macon made over the years, including increased loft development downtown. It's impressively and timely, he said. The market for living in cities of all sizes has been harder. Macon is one of Georgia's finest cities. What makes an impression on is the holistic approach to development, with College Hill, Macon, historic Macon, Newtown, and a Main Street Macon, and Macon's overall energy. So many things are coming together. You have great leadership in the public level, and now the private sector is stepping in. There you go.
Okay.
And let me borrow your gun.
Listen, we badmouth Macon all the time. I think we have as long as it takes.
And I will continue to. No.
Well,
No, I get your point. I get what you were doing. You were trying to throw some positive in there.
well,
And there's nothing wrong with that. But again,
I think we badmouth
We
Macon
do.
all the time. Some shit is happening.
yes, well, yeah, but
Let's give it credit
but
what
the
credit's
reason
due.
we badmouth it is because of shit like this. He's quick. Rickard's quick to jump on this shit, right, and put his name out in quotes and all this, y'all. But his ass don't want to do
Yeah.
shit about his corrupt police force.
Well, I got
That's what's so ridiculous about it. The
I'm
guys,
sorry, I got a segue here.
right,
I sent him a story.
right.
A worker down at, was it the bus terminal?
We talked about it yesterday.
Did you?
The one about the gun,
Yeah.
the lady. Yeah,
They
well,
fired her ass.
yeah, we
Now
don't.
it's up to Ricker to decide what he wants to do.
Right. Well,
We were
Jack,
there.
we talked about it because Jack Ellis went to city council meeting and he was the first one to speak in front, and he talked about that.
Of course, he was going to be the first one to speak.
Well, he signed up first too. He was
Oh.
there before us.
How about that? Okay, twerking.
But anyway,
Okay.
no, back to this. But I understand you. Well, I want to answer Irvin. But I mean, I know
What was he talking about?
Bean said it's boring as hell too, what you were talking about. But Irvin, let's get it real. This is the crap that pisses me off about Rickard, and this is why I had to go in front of his face, in front of everybody at Cherry Blossom.
Which you would have done here.
I would if I'd known about this. They purposely didn't let anybody know about this until after it happened. Because now they're probably worried about me showing up.
There's
Yeah.
always still opportunity.
You don't see no
It's
bald
on
guy with
Friday.
a
Yeah.
pink
See,
coat on.
because
did
you know his ass sure as hell didn't show up to the groundbreaking over there of the Juvenile Justice Center, because I think I announced on Facebook I was going to be there. But anyway, the thing about it is, I mean, that's all fine and dandy. Yes, we do need to do other things with the city too. But I swear to God,
You got to talk
I
about it.
swear to a God that I don't believe in. That look,
You don't believe in God. so
That's
that
what I just
doesn't
said.
mean
I said,
anything.
I swear to God I don't believe in, that this guy has, your police force and that sort of thing, your security should be at the top of the ladder for your concerns, right? Yeah, this is all fine and dandy, but get your police group in order, your police department, get them in order. You're sitting here ignoring this police thing, right?
That's true.
And yet, but you're all throwing yourself out there to make sure that these out-of-towners come see you, and you talk about how great the College Hill corridor's doing, and and how many frickin' seats the stadium's going to have now, and how all of a sudden we're going to be the lacrosse capital of the world. I mean, come on, guy. You know, that stuff is not important in the scheme of things. It really isn't. You know, it really isn't. And this is coming from a guy who loves movies, loves being in movies. But I know that
And
deep
loves
down,
Macon, too.
That deep
Yes.
down, 42 is not really that important compared to things like your corrupt police force. You know, let's get
I
real.
agree.
It's not. And this is coming from a guy who's all about 42, that did time with it, got
Yes.
paid good money
Got
for it.
paid, yes.
But I
Yes.
still just know where my priorities are. And
Yeah.
that's all this mayor cares about. That's why I think he's being controlled by other people, higher up somewhere. He's a puppet. And their whole goal is they told him, your job is to get this freaking 2nd Street going. Your job is to do all this stuff about this economy and all this stuff about this buildings and sports and all this crap that really doesn't matter in the scheme of things. And don't worry about the crime, and don't worry about your corrupt police.
Well, here's a
but
good
let's
one.
worry about other stuff.
Well, here's a good one that is a segue to this. Don't worry about the crime. Here we go. And this is sad because this again goes back to what I've been saying, that Macon really is a great city, but they just don't take the time to take care of the shit they got.
Right.
2 men were arrested Tuesday in connection with the theft of thousands of feet of copper wiring
Yes.
that powered lights and scoreboards at area recreational parks. Stephen Zanders of Lizella was charged with 3 counts of criminal damage, 3 counts of theft, 1 count of interference with government property, and a probation violation. I mean, look, they put up these parks,
Yes.
and people just go in and destroy them. So, yes, the police are all a bunch of scumbags sometimes, but
Not all of
if
them.
they're not
Some
around,
are okay.
it's guys like this that get away with murder. Now they happen to find this guy,
Well, not murder.
but well,
stealing copper.
thousands of feet of copper wire. How does
Right.
this guy walk out of there with thousands of feet of copper wire? Because there are not enough police
Yeah.
in the area.
Yeah, they were cops.
There
That's
are not enough police in the area, and we keep firing them, which I think they're all going to go eventually, most of them. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. We need the police, but at the same time, we need them to just behave.
Well, that's my point that I said ages ago as well, is they need to be doing what they're supposed to be doing. And when they're doing all this corrupt crap, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah, they get distracted.
Right? Maybe these cops should have been more on the job and more aware of what's going on, and they might have caught this guy before he left with thousands of feet. How did they catch him, Irvin?
I'll show
Did they
you.
catch him in the middle of the act or
hold
after
on.
he was already gone?
Okay,
From the scene.
East Macon Recreation Center, Occomoka East Boulevard, West Macon Ballpark on Mercer University Drive, North Macon Recreational Center was stripped of thousands of feet of copper wire last week, according to the release. Sanders is being held, doesn't say. The sheriff's office and Macon police conducted the investigation, so it doesn't really say.
Well, it says investigation, which means he was able to get out of there with it. They found
Right,
out
and they
about it.
just
They
kept track of it.
investigated it, and then they found him through investigation. So he wasn't caught in the act.
Right. It
See,
sounds like he
you're
was
right. See, these
being investigated.
it's a good job they did that they caught the guy through their investigation, but it makes me think, and I know cops can't be everywhere at the same time.
Yep.
But it shows me a lot of times that they're not even where they should be in general. Because they're too busy, some of them, doing shit like worrying about how can I steal a tractor? How can I go pick and bully on somebody sitting outside of Kroger? You know, how can I do this? That their priorities are screwed up.
Well, let me just say this. You think that it's gotten bad now. Daryl Jackson put out one of the strongest posts against the police. And let me just say this. He's onto something. He said the reason why
Did he
they
steal it
have
from
not
us?
brought Sutton down is because Sutton's got too much on the
Well,
police.
we've heard that before.
I know we've said that,
Well,
but
no, and
he
Heather,
put it out.
Heather, my wife, said that way back.
Yeah.
personally
But
to
he
me.
put it out as a post.
Yeah.
Now he's very close to Elaine Lucas.
Yeah.
So Elaine Lucas is liking that. She's like, she likes his post.
Yeah.
And I put it out myself because I believe that is a fact. That the reason why Sutton has not gone down is because he just knows too much. He knows who the crooked cops are in that precinct. He knows who the bad apples are, and they're afraid to let him go because of that situation.
But
and they may have gotten him off the hook because of that reason.
I don't know. I don't know about that. He's not
I know it smells dicey there, guys.
but he's not off the hook yet. because we will be.
Well,
addressing,
he's not,
We'll
but-
be addressing Sutton more when I pull out the latest files I have.
Yeah. But
From two
what
more
I'm saying
officers
is,
of Precinct
you're
3.
right, it's not over yet.
No,
but
it's not.
I believe that's why we're at a stalemate right now with this guy, is because he's got too much.
Well,
Too much
I'm-
dirt on other people.
I'm glad Daryl put that out, but I've heard that before him. I have heard that before he put that out. Before you said that, Heather said that early on. Heather said that.
Yeah,
to me
but
at
Heather
home.
didn't put it
No,
on Facebook.
Well, because Heather's not following. Heather is not doing all the posting on that stuff like I am.
Yeah.
That's something that's going to come out regardless. You know
Yeah.
what? You remember what we were saying? I was saying that I was going kind of beyond that post. I was saying early on that I think he's connected to somebody higher up as far as relationship wise that was a pretty big wig in a police department
Right.
somewhere. I thought maybe Sutton has a granddad or a father that was like a
Yeah, you
20,
were saying that.
20 or 30 year veteran of
yeah,
a police
police force,
force,
yeah.
and that basically that guy might have been a buddy guy with Chief Burns when they were younger, or someone else. In the that was my thing that I was kind of feeling. I was kind of feeling maybe that connection is there. So
Yeah.
I'm glad Daryl put it out because at least he's keeping it alive.
Oh yeah, not
has
only
to
is
be
he
kept
keeping it
alive.
alive, but he's firing it up.
I mean, that's sort of. But let's wait till 9 o'clock and we'll continue the subject.
Okay, we got
Because
5 minutes.
speaking of firing up, I went yesterday to pick up 2 more Precinct 3 officer folders. Well, before I got the folders in my hand, someone else was there getting something as well from the media. After 9 o'clock, we'll address that. I'm going to let you guys know who I saw there and what they were going to get.
Wow.
And this, I think, has something to do with yours truly bringing this up at City Council Tuesday night. Well, us as a whole, me in particular. But we all went to City Council, so I'm saying
Right.
yours truly. But we'll get to that after 9 o'clock because we have some little wing-dang-dingers for that.
No, I love it.
So
Okay.
let's go back to
Ed.
no, we got 4
Yeah.
minutes. Let's do a 4-minute story, or let's see what chatters are
I
doing.
got it.
Let's do chatters real quick. Hell, we
Yeah,
don't-
let's do chatter.
Yes.
I like that.
Sabuki, I guess during your story about the Megan thing, he actually made a drinking game with it because the story
That doesn't surprise me.
the story had mentioned mentioned the name Megan like over 20 times
Yes.
according to Sabuki.
Yes.
I said, gee, that was that many. Wow.
Yes. What are you
Yeah.
drinking, Saibuki? Let me buy you a drink.
What is he talking about?
He made a drinking game out of the story. How many times you said "macon" when you were doing that story on
Oh.
the visitors coming to town and Rickard trying to be all personable with y'all.
Yes. City Bump said the Need for Speed movie is going to be horrible. That movie will make fun of your town and add the stereotypes.
Oh.
It's going to be a B movie. Tell them to film it somewhere else. Well, not exactly. 'Cause
City Bum,
Water bill can't pay itself. I'm
City
just
Bum,
saying.
yeah, and City Bum. I agree. I mean, this is a movie I can tell is going to be bad too
Yes.
because it just sounds bad. And anytime you base a movie on a video game, or most of the time I'll say, not any
It's
time,
stupid.
or a board game, it's going to be pretty bad.
Is it
Yeah.
gonna, it said,
By the way,
But
Volpabai
most movies
says
I was a part of are bad.
Volpabai says 6 slash tires, Anthony. How can they stop the copper thieves?
Well, if they were where they were supposed to be, instead of where they weren't supposed to be, then there wouldn't have been any
Listen.
slash tires. Vorpalbite.
Well, he says cops are too busy changing
Is it?
tires.
Is it?
Sabuki said,
let me
yeah.
let me ask you something,
Volpalbite.
or whoever. So let me ask you something. If they didn't go pick on a bunch of guys and gals hanging out in their front yard, bugging nobody, just having some beers, partying and staying to
Oh, okay.
themselves,
Yeah.
if these cops didn't go and decide to let's go harass them and find out if they're doing drugs, if they were instead patrolling areas where they know theft and stuff is happening, then maybe they wouldn't have had their tires slashed, Saibuki or Vorpalbite. Because you know what? There is no crime that was being committed by these large crowd on Montpelier Avenue. The report itself said the officers went there to check what was going on and to see if there was any drug use. They didn't say they were going there because there was a call. No one called anybody on this large crowd, right? No one sees this large crowd out there breaking shit, beating up people, robbing people. There are a bunch of people hanging out in their front yard late at night, having some beer, right? Drinking
Right.
and hanging out. What's wrong with that? If you're going to profile Macon Police Department and you're going to send your 5 or 6 cop cars to go, let's go see what these black people are doing out here at 12:30 at night.
Let's see what those troublemakers are
Yeah,
going to be
let's
doing
go
right
see
now.
what
Yeah.
they're
let's check
doing.
'em out.
If
These
your
drug-
ass,
these drug dealers.
if your ass was traveling your beat and going to the bad neighborhoods like Village Green, where we know the crime is, like the Peach Orchard, like maybe businesses where copper theft
That's
is
right.
prevalent,
That-
then you wouldn't get your tires slashed.
Well, the other
There's
thing
my
is,
rebuttal.
the other thing is, and that's a good rebuttal.
It is a good rebuttal. I
But
beat
here's
this
the thing.
shit out.
I don't
That's
want to
why.
hear shit about tires being slashed because there's one cop in one car. Now maybe that'll be a good thing because, and I'm not saying
You mean
slashing
put
tires is
two.
a good thing. What I'm saying is now we can start putting 2 cops in a car. I think it's a waste of money to put 1 cop in a car. And then they run up their gas bill. I mean, because most
And
of the
put
time
miles
they
on
leave
it,
them
too.
on.
And putting miles on it.
And
Yeah.
If they had 2 cops in the car, Junebug might be alive today.
It would have been.
Exactly.
That's one of my first complaints early on was that he should have called backup. Backup would have controlled the situation like they did in 2010 when the cops were called on him, right? Junebug wasn't shot then when he apparently pushed a Kroger manager.
Well-
what was it? There were multiple cops who restrained him, put him on the ground, and tied him off with those ties, right?
Yep.
That's what should have. That was procedure. That's why this is just so ridiculous that people still want to side with Sutton and the police department on this
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's right there, obviously, in your face.
Okay, we're at 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. We're going to continue this conversation. I think this show is flowing good
Definitely flowing well.
because I've got 2 more files. Precinct 3. One's a wing dang doodle, and I'm gonna tell you what. I'm also tell you who I ran into when I was picking these files up, and I'm gonna tell you what file they were coming to get
Uh-oh.
after our break.
And after a break, and also after that, Ed will have his video on
Twerk,
twerking.
yeah,
right?
Ed so badly wants to
Not yours.
twerk.
I got videos.
Oh, you got video.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we're gonna read the chatters
Oh, okay.
finally.
I'm
So
sorry.
we're
Chatters.
gonna keep it brief. We don't want to spend too much time. We
We're
don't
gonna,
want to-
got
we're gonna
you.
get
Right.
to you,
It's
chatters.
like-
I
it's
promise.
gonna be an educational portion of the program.
That's
Okay.
right. That's right.
Well,
All right,
it's
we'll be
9:01. We'll be back. Watching the morning roast live from the Nut House. It's 46 degrees outside, raining in Macon, Georgia, with a high of 52, low of 44. We'll be back.
Please stay with us here on VaughnLive.tv.
Yeah, baby.
Downtown Macon, Georgia.
Yes.
There's the
It's-
wonderful band Queen, known for some of the best bass lines ever.
Oh yes.
Queen, man. Queen
No one
had
bites
Queen
the dust,
had
yes.
great bass lines.
Yes,
I
it is.
miss-
So
I
great,
miss Freddie
even Vanilla
Mercury.
Ice had to steal Under Pressure.
My favorite song of his is "I Want to Be Free."
That's a good one. I remember you karaoke in that. You used
Right.
to karaoke that.
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
I forgot
No
about
one
that.
bites the dust. That was a good, very good song. I think that was their last top 10 hit in America. I
Queen
think.
was great.
Yes, I used
Had
to
a lot
break
of good
dance that
stuff.
song back in the day.
A lot of good stuff.
You know, it's too bad I stopped going to that karaoke thing, but they basically asked me not
Well,
to go.
I was there last night while Elizabeth was rehearsing Music
Karaoke?
Man. I went and hung out at Roasted a little bit, but of
I
course
thought you were gonna go do trivia.
I did that first.
Oh,
Trivia was over by 9. Elizabeth
Right.
was still rehearsal, so
was
then I
Danny
walked.
there?
No, that's what I was saying. Brett and Nick were running karaoke last night, but I left before the crowd showed up because
Oh.
Elizabeth got out of the play and I had to go home, take her home.
Brad and Nick.
Brett,
Brett.
Brett. You know Brett, Nick's friend Brett Fennel, the guy that works for Fox, sells ads.
Oh,
Yeah,
You know
Brett.
he's drunk.
Yeah, Brett. Anyway, as DB said, this is the morning roast now coming to you from
Oh, I heard
Vaughn
that
Live.
Danny, somebody else did the karaoke last
That's
night.
what I just said.
Who
yeah.
did it? Brett?
Brett and Nick.
Oh, okay.
But see, I left before the
See,
crowd
I'm not
showed
sure
up.
who Brett is. Who the hell
You
is?
know Brett, the big kind of tall white guy, best friends with Nick. He's an ad executive, ad agent at Fox. He sells advertising. You know, good guy, white
Maybe
guy.
I do
Dark
know
hair.
him. I
Always
don't know.
happy.
Yeah.
You know, always kind of in a party mood. You know.
Brett.
You know Brett.
Oh,
You fucking know Brett.
I know Brett.
Come on, if you've been to roasted,
I know who we're talking about now.
All right. Anyway,
I mean, you throw out names there. You know I don't know people by names.
you know him
I
as,
forget their
you
name
know him
2
as,
minutes
hey
after.
kid, hey baby,
Thank God
hey
that they
sweetheart.
got chatters because I would
kid.
forget your name.
You go, hey kid.
Right, Bean?
Anyway,
Hi,
it
Gamer
is-
Girl. How you doing?
It is what?
Hey,
It
Gamer
is
Girl.
9:10 a.m. Eastern Standard Daylight
Hey,
Savings
Gamer.
Time in Macon. 46 degrees in Macon
It's
outside.
your turn, Ed.
Well, not partly. It's very cloudy in Macon. It's showering with a high of 52.
It feels
low
like
44.
shit already.
Oh yeah, it's gonna. Well, at least it's gonna be raining today and tomorrow, but it's gonna be somewhat
Looking
warm.
good this weekend, man.
Definitely.
Wow, I love it. This
It's
is
gonna
this
go
is
from
my
70s to the 80s.
this is gonna be my take off my clothes weekend, wear nothing but shorts, and get on my bike and bike around. Everywhere.
Hopefully you do that at home, not in
No, I'll bike around with nothing but shorts on.
Hey, Vorpalbite, my wife said the same thing.
What?
I'm the only Latino without rhythm.
Ah, Ricky.
She used to say I'm a Puerto Rican wannabe.
Puerto Rican wannabe.
Yeah, she said, you're a wannabe Puerto Rican. You're not real. I was so Jewish.
Well, you know, when I first met you, I thought you definitely had some Jew in you.
What? What are you talking
when I
about?
first met
What
you,
are
I
you
thought,
talking about?
there's no way this guy's not
What
Jewish.
are you saying? Are you saying that I was a Jew?
Yes, I thought you
You
were.
thought I was a Jew?
I did.
Hey!
Well, who the hell
That's-
didn't think he was a Jew?
Hey,
I mean, he
Wow.
has a lot of the traits.
What are you talking about?
I mean, come on. You even sound like one.
You know what? I bet Jewish you were Jewish.
Oh, I forgot
bet
Ed
you
was
wish.
Jewish. We're
I
offending
bet
the
you
crap
wish.
out of him.
That's a good one.
But Ed doesn't talk that way, but yes, he does.
But Ed's name gives it away. The German Jew.
Yeah, Einbinder.
That's very much German Jew. Of course.
Yeah, that's a German Jew.
Yes,
Okay,
that's,
thanks.
That's
Thank
Einbinder to the extreme. is
If
German
it would have
Jew.
been Einbinder Schwartz, then it's really.
If it was Einbinder Schwartz, we would just be overloaded with Jewishness in this studio.
What if it goes
I mean,
to Egger?
there'd been two.
Einbinder Schwarzenegger. Then
Oh,
you think,
That's
what?
Austrian Jew.
Oh,
Oh,
give what they want.
Anthony
Give what they
is
want.
very well versed.
The subject,
Okay.
what we were going to cover.
You want to do twerking and then go to Sutton and all and the police?
I thought that's what we were going to do.
Well, I know you
I
can't
know
walk
we're going to be on
twerking.
that shit to the end of the show.
Okay, let's wait.
We're gonna drag
And
that
we're
shit out.
and
You
we're
know that.
well, no, Irvin's gonna love this shit because this is gonna be
Okay,
fun.
this is gonna be
This is
great.
gonna be shit that Irvin's gonna start posting
I
on
got two
Facebook
videos.
after the show tonight. Today.
Can you stop?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's going to
Okay, good.
explain what it
Okay.
is. I got 2 videos and then we're done.
Let me ask you
Okay.
this real quick,
It's more
Ed.
entertaining.
Where are we on the list at top? Are we at number 2? Where's the show?
Number 2.
Okay.
Number
The
2.
guy who number 1 is sitting there like this.
Well, we say that back to him. We say this: we're coming after your spot by the end of this show. We're coming
Yes.
after your spot.
We're
Hey,
coming
that's
after you,
kind of what we
brother.
talked about the
Yeah,
other
we're coming
day.
after this guy's spot right here.
Yeah.
Isn't that what we talked about? Maybe he picked up on our show.
Yeah.
He said it was a famous picture. Might as well
All right.
imitate it.
Let's do this Ed story that Ed just so badly wants to get to.
I don't know about
It's about twerking. Those
Yes.
who haven't seen any
Sports?
videos,
No, we're done with
No.
sports. We gave him his sports.
twerking.
Anyway.
Well, twerking is some type of dance. You know, basically a booty dance. You know, which you always.
Derek's talked about it on
Watching
here forever.
BET.
Remember, he talked about the woman dropping her blood when
You
she was
had
twerking.
talk. I'm going to
Yes.
play the video.
Well, anyway, there's twerking
Right.
video. I mean, there's been a lot of them on YouTube, and
Right,
and
right.
even even TJ's been talking
They're
about
doing,
it.
they're doing it at Walmart.
What the
everything.
hell?
Yes. So here we go.
Someone's doing it. What,
Talk-
a dressing room?
Talk
Yes.
while I mean it's become
What is that?
It's
twerking.
twerking.
Basically,
It's
just
basically getting on all fours or getting low and shaking
Oh,
your
shaking
butt.
your, shaking your
I gotta
butt.
get something on my body here. I'm cold.
That just made Irvin leave the room.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, here's another video.
Booty quake is what
Booty
White
quake
says.
is what Vorpal Bite says.
All seeing eye droppers like it's hot.
My whole thing is that when these
You're going to
ladies,
shit a brick when you see this.
my whole thing, Ed and Derek, is when these ladies grow up and their grandmothers and great grandmothers, are they going to be happy that they did
No,
this
look
when they
at
were
this shit,
younger?
though.
Hell
Look
no.
at
I'm
the
not even
video.
looking at this because this is just close to child pornography
Isn't
here.
it? I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
I'm
It
not.
is.
I'm not.
People do this shit.
I
they
know,
film
and
it.
I'm not even going to condone watching this crap.
Okay, now let's spend the next 2 hours
I mean-
talking about it.
Okay, but my whole thing is
Um,
that yeah, it's like you're a dog lifting your leg taking a piss.
We're talking about raising your child right.
Yes,
Okay,
I know.
So you teach your child that.
Yeah.
but not how to read.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Because some, I mean,
Or
because
you teach your child to tell everybody he gay.
yes,
You know, it's all
and
that.
Tom, and well,
So Tommy
some-
had that video on.
he had that video and he was basically commenting about this is some bullshit. You can teach him how to twerk, but not teach him how to read or math or anything like that.
Well, not
Wait,
even
wait,
that.
just let
I mean-
everybody know. This is educational. This was not. This
Yeah.
was an educational
Yeah.
report.
Well, I appreciate that.
This is what the hell they do in America.
Let's bring
I
it
bet
up.
you don't do it in England.
Matter of fact, the video that I sent.
Ask Saibuki, do they do it in England like that?
England.
You know what's scary
Sabuki.
about that?
Is there twerking in England?
What's scary about that is how low society has become.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Like-
But it's been low. It's really been low, guys. It's been low for a while.
Listen, I'm not stereotyping. Lord knows I'm not kidding.
But-
that I'm not stereotyping here.
Okay.
Right.
But they look like a bunch of monkeys. Like, that's what they do, isn't it? Isn't that what monkeys do? In order to attract and I'm not saying that black people are the only ones doing it. I'm just saying that's what they look like.
You
to
mean
me.
you mean the physical,
The
motion,
physical emotion,
the
yeah.
look?
They're
You're
going
comparing it to
backwards.
primates. Is
Yeah,
what you're
like
saying.
primates.
Okay.
Basically,
I should have used that word.
Basically,
Right.
they're
Right.
devolving.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Right, they're devolving.
I got something to say though. When I go like karaoke shows,
Uh-huh.
you get some of these girls. They're like from my gold karaoke. They get up there. They're drunk and they do that.
They
shaking
sing
their
and
booty
dance
in
at the
front of
same time.
stage.
Game of
Right.
Thrones says they banned someone the other day for showing an episode of Growing Pains because there were kids on the show.
That's all right. We're okay. We're educational.
What is she saying?
Don't worry
Basically,
about it.
basically, you remember their rule on here. Their rule on here is that you're not supposed to have kids.
No
on.
children.
No children.
Right,
So basically, she was just giving us a nice warning, I guess, to remember that.
right.
Yes. Even
But,
so,
but I know what Ed was doing. Ed was just wanting to show it real quick. We weren't spending a lot of time on it. I didn't know
Yes.
that was going to come up. We don't
Neither did I.
we
I
don't
didn't think-
script this show. I had no clue what Ed was going to show us there. But the thing about it is, it's just
It's disgusting. What they
Yeah,
they're
it is.
raising
Well,
Was it
Verbal
too
bite.
sexual?
Verbal Bite's going to make this
Huh?
too easy
Was
for
it too
me.
sexual?
yeah, to many, yeah, to some people, yeah.
Well, in some people. Verbal Bite's making this too easy. Of course, Verbal Bite's trying to stir it up and saying anarchists don't believe in rules. And basically, this is Verbal Bite saying that I should okay this because I don't believe in rules, so to speak. But you're completely wrong, Verbal Bite, because
I didn't
again-
know the video. I didn't see
Well,
the
we're
video.
not worried about that now. We're past that. Gamer Girl was just trying to
Yeah.
give us a little heads
didn't miss
up.
much, Eric.
We did it. We're not going to re-show it. The point was made
Yeah,
is
the
that
point's
people
over.
are not parenting. But back to Verbal Bite.
Mm-hmm.
It's no government rule is what anarchy is, okay? It doesn't mean you can't have fucking common sense and you can't be a good parent. I mean, you can't compare the two. He's trying to explain this
Yeah,
like
I
I
mean-
should agree with this because there's no rules to how you treat your kids. That's not what it is. Come on, you know better than that, Verbal Bite.
But
They
I mean,
make
but-
up their own rules, he said.
The thing about it is you have to have
Let 'em finish.
self-respect
Yeah, okay.
and respect
Yeah.
for each other.
Jump in.
it's been duly noted. We
Yeah,
got
but Verbal Bite's kind of like,
well, you know, you're gonna stir
Lost.
the pot. You're
Yeah,
gonna
I like that bite,
Yeah, you
but
still,
I gotta
yeah, but
answer
see,
it.
you can only stir it so many times before the broth gets too thick. Okay,
right.
I'm just saying.
What
but-
is your
but
comment
saying-
on this, Derek?
The saying about I'm disagreeing with Saibuki. It says at that age I would have turned the hose on my kids for that. He said something even earlier. It says if my daughters behave like that now, I would beat them, and the youngest is 16.
why do you disagree with that?
I don't disagree.
Oh, I thought you just said you're going to disagree with Saibuki.
No, I said I have to agree.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood you. I
Because
thought,
he says
I
that
heard
he says
disagree.
yeah, I heard disagree.
Okay, I
Okay.
misspoke.
Okay.
Anyway, he says if my daughters behave like that now, I would beat them, in the youngest is 16. At that age, I would have turned the hose on my kids for that. And truth be told, we shown twerking like that, but it's been really gone out of hand, which is kind of funny because I sent a video to Ed, and you know, Tommy, and I know he does a lot of this stories and like showing like why are people doing this, because they banned his videos talking about educational stuff.
Right.
And yet, no, you don't hear too many people
Yeah.
banning the twerking videos on YouTube,
Yeah.
and they have like about 10 or 20 of them done.
Now, what's
a
the
day.
name of that dance?
Twerking?
Twerking.
Twerking.
Basically, just
TWERKING.
All they do is rub their butts on a guy's crotch.
well, not
no,
rubbing their butts,
they
just
don't have
basically just
to
showing
rub
it. They just basically just make it jiggle.
A lot of times it's a solo dance.
Yeah, solo dance.
I mean, you can add it to being with a guy dancing
Mm-hmm.
with you, but usually it's a solo dance. You're doing it alone.
Ah, I see.
Make
Yeah,
your
but I
booty
never
clap,
see them
basically.
doing it alone.
What? This what you didn't see the video? We've only been showing these videos
No, I
all
wouldn't.
over. No, I'm
Yeah.
talking about the other days when Derek talked about this. We showed videos of twerking on here.
Now, I didn't see the video.
Okay.
This is what you get when you get a guy on the
Oh.
show who doesn't pay attention to the
TMI
show.
here,
Bullshit.
TMI.
I pay more attention than you think.
Well, ain't it?
It's just some of the
I don't
shit
even know
is,
why
a
you
little
want
over
to
my
try
head.
to demonstrate
I'm
because
not used to
I don't have
seeing
the. I don't
Urban,
have the
everything's over your head because you're short.
That's true.
You'll never be the same.
I
Are
know.
you all right?
Ed just twerked in front
Are you
of us.
choking to death?
I wish we filmed Ed twerking because we would have posted that on Tommy's site.
Yeah.
Tommy Sotomayor's site.
Ed's
Yeah.
laughing. his
But
head
anyway,
off over here.
speaking of, I just sent a video that he had where I actually had a story, a similar story. I mean, not the video, but a similar story about this guy. He's a father who catches his daughters twerking on Facebook and goes ham, H-A-M, hard on the motherfucker.
You know what you need to do with those?
He goes ham on them.
You know what you need to do with
Yeah.
Tommy?
You know,
Tommy
let me
videos?
ask
You
you a
need to
question.
edit 'em and edit him out.
Why do
and
people
just
talk
use the
like
video.
that? Like, there are people that actually talk like that all the time.
Yeah, right.
Right? Like preachers.
Yeah.
Like, why did it? When I've always said this about preachers,
Okay.
they like to like scream at you. That's called Bible thumping.
Yes.
Yeah.
of
They're
course.
supposed to be
Tub thumping.
talking
Right,
normal.
Saibuki, it's called tub thumping
Talking
too.
normal. Did you see my post about
Tub
the
thump.
deacons and the ministers?
No, I didn't
That
see
they
that.
make a lot of money. They got the
I didn't see that.
Rolls
Yeah.
Royce. Oh. And I got more hits on that one. And here's the thing. Here's what I think. You got a lot of these ministers that become characters in their own play.
Yes.
Right?
Of
Right.
course.
Then they
It's
start
an act.
making money.
It's an act.
So now they start doing political
They're
stuff.
acting, yes.
They're all acting.
They
It
are.
isn't like what I did, where I went into the garbage can to bring people out. You know, in that little house that you saw me, right?
Yes.
Right.
I allowed 2 guys to stay in there. You know? In other words, I was even in my broke state, I was trying to always help somebody. These schmucks, do you know what they do?
What?
They want to know how much you got to give them before. If you don't give to contribution in some of these churches,
Right.
they will not help you.
Well, that's the way politicians are, Irvin. Mm-hmm. I mean, they're the same way. You give them the money. That's why I know. That's why I have a good idea. That's what Rickard's doing.
No, and I'm going to be
He's
going.
going where the money's coming
Well,
from.
here's a
That's all he's doing.
controversial move that I'm going to be doing. I'm letting it out now, but maybe I should keep it under wraps. But I am going to go after some of these churches, and I want to see. I want them to be transparent and say, look, you know, I'm going to have your 501 pulled if you can't show that the money that you've been collecting has gone for something in the neighborhood. In other
Okay.
words, if all you're doing is keeping the money in the bank,
Right.
then we're going to tax you on it, and we're going to pull your 501 pretty strong.
All right.
Okay.
Let's talk more about that when you get closer to it.
Okay.
Since
But
we're twerking.
Yeah, going back to the twerking thing, that had a story that was based on the video that I sent. They sent to
Give it to us in a nutshell.
basically
the title alone
title,
already gave
yeah.
it to us.
Twerk that ass. Dad catches daughters twerking on Facebook and goes ham. H-A-M.
Wow.
Basically, there's been a video that was found on Facebook and other social media where it has a man whipping 2 young girls with a cable wire after he catches them doing a sexually
We can't show that.
twerking.
No,
well,
we're
we
not
can't
gonna
show
show
it.
it.
We're not going to show it.
He
It
tells
says
the story.
basically the video shows the man apparently the girl's father punishing them after he found out his 2 teenage daughters posted a twerk video on Facebook. In the videos, the girls take turns to receive a whipping from their father. You can hear dad saying, "Is this the way I raised you? Is this the way I raised you?" According to the quote unquote.
But he said, y'all. This
Y'all.
is the way I raised y'all.
This is where I
What is
raised
that?
y'all.
They got all these words, y'all.
Well, y'all south.
You.
That's south.
Yes.
Y'all south.
Basically, I'm not condoning, abuse or even twerking for that matter. But the thing is, the guy.
I'm condoning the spanking.
Yeah, I condone the spanking.
I'm not condoning using wire. I've always said if you're going to be man enough to scold your children, use your hand.
Yes.
I've never okayed using any kind of weapon to whip your child.
Yes.
My dad didn't do it to us. My dad always spanked us with his hand. He never used
No switch?
Never used a switch. Never used a belt. Never used a stick. No, my dad, and that's the way it should be. If you're going to scold your child, be at least man enough, in my opinion, to use your own hand. You know? It's the same
Okay.
kind of thing that I say about hunters that go hunt for
Yeah.
fun. If you want to go hunt animals, put your fucking gun down and go hunt them with your hands and see how equal it is, fair ground. Okay? That's what you
Please.
do. Anyway,
Well, you
back
see
to the
what-
video.
yeah.
So anyway, I don't condone the guy using wiring, whatever the hell he used wires and spank them around. I don't condone, but I do condone the guy going, "Did I raise y'all better than this? I raised you better than this."
Yes.
You're damn
All
right.
right, well,
Sabuki
I'm going to read
says-
some of these chatters' comments because they're really funny.
Sabuki says agreed. He says I agree with the dad. It's like wow. But going back to the story,
Well, you covered it. But
Well, yeah.
leave
I
your
mean,
opinion now.
basically, I'm just giving opinion. Yeah, they should be disciplined because you shouldn't be doing that on freaking. You shouldn't even doing it, let alone doing a video for it.
Well, the main point
for the
is,
world to see.
but the main point is, they're still children in his household.
Yes.
Now, if they were 18 or older doing it, then I would say the dad has no right to do that to them. Because technically they're adults and they're going to make their own decisions.
Yeah, but these are kids.
They're right. That's right. They're 16. They're still kids and they're in his house.
Well, they should go after the guy as
Who?
well.
The father?
Well,
No, the guy
there
that
was
was
no guy.
in the video with them.
It wasn't a guy. The guy's the father spanking the hell out of him.
Oh,
No.
I
the
thought
two-
he was
wasn't twerking.
No,
No.
the two girls were the ones twerking.
Twerking. He didn't want that in his house.
Yes. What it is, the video ended up catching the dad scolding him after he saw the video on Facebook.
he
of
slapped
the,
her?
Well, he
No,
used
he
a
whipped
wire.
a wire cable.
I don't agree with him using a weapon, but I agree
Right.
with him scolding him.
Yes, and just basically the story, which to give him credit from Tommy, so he had the story originally that I found out. The update on that they just arrested the dad for child
Oh my! Well, he did it wrong with using a weapon.
Or
Well,
something
cable,
weapon-like.
yeah.
Yes, weapon. Yeah, and that's what he should have done. He should have done it with his hand. But this I guarantee this dad gets a lot of support. He's
Oh, yeah.
arrested. He's going to get a lot of support, even if he did use wiring, which he shouldn't have used.
abuse. Yes.
But that's the truth. I mean, good. Like Sabuki says, good for that guy.
Yeah.
Good for that guy for being a dad that does care, that does say not on my watch. So. And I don't think does anybody disagree? Does Vormal Bite disagree with us?
Well,
Anybody on the chat?
he's disagreeing with the fact that the father beat him with the wire. But had not that been the case, I would say he had every right to beat the crap out of them if he could. Because they're kids. But look, I also am an advocate for not doing that. But I could understand his anger. Because that whole dance makes you want to kick him in the ass.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's really so offensive.
Well, it's not even that it's only offensive. To me, it's just ridiculously stupid looking. To me, it's just idiotic looking on top of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it really just does not look attractive. And if these women think it looks attractive.
Thank you, gamer girl.
See, gamer girl, you say something about your grandmother used a spoon. See, that's another thing where I come from a different kind of time period. And I understand there are households that don't have both parents. But that's another thing. I come from a mentality that the father should have been the one that always punished the kids. I come from the mentality that the mother and the female in the family should not have to punish the kids for something they do wrong. I come from a family to where that was the dad's responsibility. If the kid did something wrong, you waited till dad got home and dad took care of it. Mom didn't have to. And the reason I say this, gamer girl, and you guys are going to give me some shit because it goes back kind of to my belief about women should not be on the front line in the military. But I really think that really a woman, when she scolds a kid, she is going to more likely grab a tool or a weapon because she has maybe a weaker hand.
Yep.
She's not going to use her hand in fear of hurting her wrist, hurting her fingers. So she's going to grab a wooden spoon. She's going to grab a switch. She's going to grab a cord. That's why I believe the woman should not be responsible for scolding the child.
Right.
Let the dad do it. And the dad does it with his hand.
Well, my father did that. What he did was he beat my brother, who's now deceased, with a fishing rod. And he also attacked my sister, and he broke her fingers open, and she ran away. She didn't come back for 5 years. She disappeared on us.
Wow.
And my mother would look at milk cartons. It was a really tough time for my mom. But my father was out of control. I mean, and later on, when I during my divorce, I went to see him. And we spent about a month together.
Right.
And I said, Dad, how come you say that? Because he's got a new wife. He's been married to her about 20 years. He says, I can never hit this woman. And I said, Dad, you can say that about Rose, but you can't say that about Mom,
Right.
He says, Papi, having 9 kids, low wage paying job,
Tell the audience.
having a wife who was completely illiterate, because my mom was wonderful. She was smart as a whip. But as far as like education and everything, she knew about stuff, but she couldn't speak a word of English. She never wanted to learn English. And the only time that whenever she spoke it, it was so broken that you had to ask her to say it twice. So my mother was an at-home housewife.
Right.
That's all she did. But
And did she scold when your dad was gone? And if you guys did something wrong, did she scold you guys or wait for your dad to come home?
But she was very, 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 very lenient.
So she waited for your dad to come home.
No. She wouldn't tell my dad anything.
Oh, she wouldn't tell him.
No. Because my
okay.
father would beat the hell out of us.
Right.
But she would talk to us. I mean, she was a great mom, that's
Right.
for sure. I mean,
Right.
she really taught me a lot about God and all that. That was her focus. But my mom was a tough cookie to deal with. She was just like me. She didn't know how to spend money.
Right.
Exactly like me, totally reckless.
Right.
So when my father gave her the money to pay the bills, she'd use it, something else. And so the
Well,
bills weren't paid,
how would
and then
she
she had
cover
to
her ass?
scramble.
That's what I'm saying. How would she cover her ass when bill time was
She
due?
would scramble.
Wow.
She was gonna borrow money here.
Wow.
We had more credit in stores in that neighborhood than you can imagine.
Wow.
Give me credit. Give me credit.
Give me credit or give me death.
Yeah. Anyway,
Wow.
so it was a tough life. So I can imagine. In other words, what my father was saying was, I was under so much pressure that I had a nervous breakdown. That's really what happened.
All right. Any more on this topic before we move on to our update with the Macon Police Department?
Being a parent is not easy.
Let's see what the chatters are saying as we wrap this
They're
segment
saying a
up.
lot. We went through.
Well, let's answer them. Come on, let's see.
Why don't you
Yeah,
start
a
in
lot
the
of
middle
them.
somewhere?
Okay, let's see if I can get.
Well, let's start right here. Let's pick up where Gamer Girl said, my grandmother used the wooden spoon. She hated it. Former Bite says, if your kid got to that stage in the first place, they're beyond redemption. Too late to start then.
It says military school or reform school. Wow.
All Seeing Eye says, those children need to be taken in social services protection. Child abuse is the wrong charge. It should be child neglect, says Vocal Bite. Three Bears
Yeah.
says, that's why
Donnie
I've taught
Curry, you're
my
right.
daughters. Old school. Donnie's in the house. What's up, Donnie?
Donnie
All right.
Curry. Now, so I didn't come on your show. I just
All
wasn't in the mood.
All seeing eye is just another word for
I was
abuse.
working.
Yes. Ghetto people
ask
don't
me.
know any better, Vorpal Bite says. There's Vorpal Bite's 2 cents, which we get a lot of sense out of Vorpal Bite. Not necessarily common sense, but we get a lot of 2 cents out of it. What dance are you talking about, James Anderson? Welcome, James Anderson. You're a new one. We haven't had you on here. We did just a segment that
About-
Ed and Derek brought into the conversation about twerking.
Yes.
Gamer Girl says, no, I have both parents. That's when she would babysit us. Saibuki says, sexist much? I guess he's referring to my comments.
Yeah,
Good
all
morning,
seeing eye.
DJ Mean 3.
All seeing eye says white trash rednecks act the same way. Gamer girl says she was an old school Italian. I guess it's her grandmother.
Yes.
The Three
Oh
Bears.
God, this conversation is going crazy.
I
Three
love
Bears
it.
says that dance make it look like you're ready to be humped and have sex. Yeah, exactly. That's the point.
Well,
Because that was a video we had
that's,
back
let's
in the
admit
roasted.
it. That's what it's based on.
Yes.
We're not stupid. That thing started because it started because of the whole doggy style position. Let's get real.
Exactly.
Let's
Yeah,
get real.
Come on, we're not.
That's what we're not
no one's not
stupid.
totally that naive. I
Right,
mean, my
right.
goodness, it's gotten so rampant that we had a video like 3-4 months ago back when we were at Roasted where I couldn't even believe it. There was this woman who was twerking and it was during her period.
Right, and you know
Even
what
the
happened.
name is
Right.
stupid.
It must be. But twerking must be like a combination of twat jerking. Is that, I mean, really? Is that where it came from?
Maybe.
I mean, even though it's their ass, I mean, they're twats down there too. Is that where the word? And I'm serious. Did that come from twat jerking?
You know what? Let's
I don't know.
Because
I
you're,
haven't-
that.
because
I
you're
haven't
kind
Googled
of
it.
jerking around your twat, right?
Well,
I'm serious, guys. It
too.
sounds funny. I know.
It is.
If
But
someone
where
make a
would you
booty
get
clap
the,
with
but where would you get the word
Yeah.
twerking from that? I mean, why didn't they call it burking, butt jerking? They didn't. They called it twerking, right? I mean, where the hell did that come
bouncing,
from?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Anyway, let's go back. Donnie Curry says, yep, me and you both, Anthony, and that's the way my household and discipline of our house. And back to Sabuki. You're right, Sabuki, and that's why I prefaced it with saying I know there are single parent families. I understand that. And I can't speak for that because I grew up in a household where my parents did stay happily married until my dad died.
So
I can't speak. But you're right. If you're only a parent and you're a mom, you have to bring the punishment as the mom.
Yeah.
I agree. But I still just would think you would use your hand. You wouldn't use weapons. You wouldn't use tools. You wouldn't use household appliances. You know, I mean, it's just I think it shows. What's the old saying that people would say that when your dad or somebody would spank you, before he would spank you, he would say, "This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you."
Yeah.
I connect it to that, guys and gals. It's like the dad has to have good enough character and responsibility as a parent to say, "Look, you did wrong. You're going to be punished, but I'm going to be man enough to punish you with my own flesh and blood," meaning my own flesh is going to connect with your body. I'm not going to grab a piece of wood and let the wood connect with your body. I'm not going to grab a switch in the yard and let the switch connect with your body. I'm going to use my own flesh.
It was wrong of him to beat them with wire.
I agree with that part.
He stepped over the line.
I agree with that part.
And he could have killed him.
But he wasn't wrong to discipline him. I agree with the discipline. I just disagree with the tactic and with the means.
Yep. So anyway, just to give you an up-to-date, we're talking about a father who beat his two daughters. Was it both girls? Was it both girls?
Yeah, two girls.
It was two
daughters,
girls. He
right
beat
there.
them with a wire because they were doing that dance called twerking.
Well, no, not only that, he caught
him making a video.
They made a video which they were putting on the computer of them twerking.
Ah, okay.
And then to quote
That makes
him
it
is,
work.
"I raised
No,
y'all
I
better
knew
than
that. You're right.
Yeah.
I thought he caught it on Facebook already.
Well, he caught it somewhere. He
He
saw that they
saw a
posted
video,
it.
and then he
They
caught
posted
him doing as well, which is really messed up. And even that video went viral, actually.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure. It looked ridiculous.
Saibuki says he would stand his ground against his grandfather, would buckle. Saibuki, was that because you grew up knowing you don't hit women, basically? And that you knew, hey, if my grandfather's going to do that, he's a man, I'm going to fight him back, but I would dare not strike back at my mother or grandmother?
Yeah.
I mean, that's maybe why you were like that, Saibuki.
And then Vorpal says Catholic schools rule. And then people was saying, like, I didn't go to private school. All Seeing Eyes says, we're in spotting your ghetto people comment, poor white trash, country folk are similar in behavior. Then Vorpal by return replies, ghetto includes white trash, blacks, and Mexicans too. Poor with zero mentality. Morality, excuse me.
James Anderson, what you have to understand, buddy, is Vorpal Bite is a stirrer. He's a pot stirrer. He's a free speech guy. We appreciate him for both of those things.
I appreciate that comment.
Just James Anderson, don't take it too personal. It's good that you debate Vorpal Bite, but just keep in mind that Vorpal Bite, this is Vorpal Bite. This is what he does on this show. You just got to kind of have tough armor, let it roll off your back. It's good to of course, debate him about it and bring up your remarks back and have your free speech as well, James Anderson. But I just want to let you know, because you say, Vorpal Bite, don't use that racial slur, you uneducated hick. Just wanted to let you know who Vorpal Bite was, the type of person he is on here. Vorpal Bite gives me hell all the time, but we love it. I love it. We go back and forth. And he's entitled to his opinion. As way out there as it is, like mine sometimes is, Vorpal Bite's entitled to it. And he's allowed to say it.
And I think Donnie Curry said something. That is horseshit. No man should discipline with any item other than the belt, and the belt is the last result.
See, I even disagree with the belt, Donnie. My dad never used a belt on me. My dad never used anything on me but his hand. And his hand hurt, believe it. His hand was enough.
Yeah.
His hand hurt. It hurt like hell.
Like hell.
And it was always on my ass or the back thigh area. It was always there. My dad never hit us in the face. He never hit us anywhere but where a good spanking goes. And it hurt. If Coffee Guy was on here, he would vouch for that. He would.
He went through that too, right?
Well, we had a good disciplinary dad. I mean, he's a military guy. He was an MP. He was a military
But you were
police.
the nutcase.
What do you mean?
You were the bad kid.
No, not at all. It's opposite. No, it's completely opposite. Ask my mom. No, that's what my mom always says to Heather when they hang out and have dinner and stuff together. She says, Anthony was the best kid up to about 19 or 20 years old. I was to myself. I wasn't very social, but I wasn't any problems. I didn't go out and party in high school. I came home. I did my own thing at home. I was good. What happened, where I went wrong, is once I got in the Army. And then I cut loose, and I got over to Germany, and I became a partier, and I became a good hangout guy, and I was meeting women, and blah, blah, blah. And then that's when I came back. That's where I got to be kind of, hey, I kind of saw the world more. I grew up. I learned more. I started reading about other things. That's where it kind of went haywire for me, according to my mom. No, up to like 1920, I was the genuine great son. Really, I was.
Wow.
My parents loved me.
That's hard to believe. Believe me.
No, I got crazy in
Believe me, that's hard to
in my
believe.
early 20s. Is when I got whacked out. Anyway, Belly Button Fuzz, welcome. We are rocking, man. Look at the chatters. Look at the. Oh man, we're loving this. This shows me that this song is on fire. And this show is too. I said song.
Oh, so.
Yeah.
DS Photo Guy, man. I had a good time hanging out
25
with you,
viewers.
Lacey, and your two friends at trivia last night. We did not win, but we had a good time. We had a good conversation, and it was good camaraderie. I'll try to go next Wednesday as well.
I think they're having very intellectual talks back and forth.
Yes.
And it's not just verbal by putting out stupid.
No, everybody, we'll stick on this a little longer because I don't want to mess up a good conversation.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's going to continue with what I'm about to bring to the table, but this is good. We can wait till the 10 o'clock hour to go to
Yeah,
this.
Three Bears said, I got spanked with a paddle at school for leaving school grounds and for being in the middle of the road, pretending to be
It's
a bus
called
driving down the road.
punishment. When it listen, as soon as corporal punishment stopped, I think society went to hell.
What's that?
I'm serious, because there was a fear. When kids don't believe in God, don't really know God, there is no concept of fearing God. Like, if I do this, there's no
form of
fear.
discipline.
So
But you can
the only
fear
fear
right
they
and
have
wrong.
is the parent.
But you can fear right and wrong. You can know what's right and wrong
Well,
without
Depending
having to
on-
believe in a God,
Well,
right? I mean,
yeah. I mean, no.
I mean,
Listen, you didn't believe in God, and
No,
you
but-
turned out to be a good kid.
no,
Of course,
but
now I have.
But my
question.
but my realization and decision not to believe in God happened after my 20s. That's what I'm saying. I wasn't necessarily a religious guy as a young man either. But when I was young, I just did not know, and I left more of an open mind about it. And I basically was willing to kind of accept what my family lineage shoved down our throat. My parents were never.
They didn't shove it
no,
down
but listen,
your throat,
but listen,
obviously.
But listen, my parents were never real religious. They were the type of parents, which I love them for it. They, at an early age, let us decide on our own whether it was something we wanted to believe and do. They sent us to Sunday school. They let us decide. If we didn't like it, they didn't force us to go. They were very much letting us decide it. They didn't force religion on us.
Well,
so
they didn't
what it
force
was,
us to go either. We actually liked church.
but what it was that, so as a young man in my 15, 16, before I went in the Army, I just kind of went with the acceptance that, hey, I don't go to church, but, I considered that, hey, my mom's side of the family was Lutheran, and my dad's side was
How come you never thought of it
was
like,
Roman-
and let me just go to a
Roman
church. My
Catholic.
parents don't have to tell me.
Well, that's what I'm saying. They let us try it out, and then from there, they let us decide in our teenage years whether we wanted to pursue it further.
And you didn't
Donnie
think it was a
Curry,
good
probably.
thing.
Okay.
I just slowly realized it's not for me, so then I decided
Well,
in the early 20s that I was
Donnie
an
Rose.
atheist.
Hi, who's this?
Donnie, probably.
You're right.
All
Donnie.
right.
Put it on,
Put-
man.
yeah, the
Speaker.
box is over there.
Ronnie, Donnie Curry, welcome to the show. What's up?
Morning, guys. Irvin, I must applaud you. I didn't expect that comment coming out of your mouth about once corporal punishment was taken out of our society or society went downhill. I would not disagree with you at all on that comment, and I'll tell you why. When I was a kid, I think Free Bears mentioned this, that she got disciplined in school. I was living in Alabama when I was in kindergarten, the first grade, and talking about going to church as a mandatory thing. When I went to school, I think at a young age, I realized the respect I have for the black community was because when I was in the first grade, we were taught about Satan and how Satan had this evil, so he has a black heart. Well, I went to the school the following day, and I told my best friend who was black, I could not play with him anymore because he's black, so he has a black card, so he's evil. Well, he went crying to the teacher. The teacher sent me to the principal, and I got introduced to the Board of Education. And, you know, ever since then, I despise the N-word. Either community calling each other that. You know, and I'll tell you, it taught me a life lesson there. You know, and our kids nowadays have no respect for authority because discipline has been taken out of schools. Discipline has been taken out of homes. I have personal experience on this. You know, you get in trouble in the state of Nevada for putting your hand on your kid. And when I say put your hand on your kid, I don't mean like this asshole that decided to whip his daughters with wire. That's out of control. That's unacceptable by any stretch of the imagination. But disciplining your kid because I'll tell you right now, if I caught my daughter doing the same thing, I'd bust her butt, but I wouldn't use a wire. I'd use my hand. The belt, so I made the comment that, you know, and you'd have to agree that you may not agree with using a belt or anything of that nature to discipline your kids. You should just use your hand. But you have to agree that not all kids are the same. And I use this as a figure of speech. But some kids need a timeout, but then there are those kids that need a knockout, figuratively speaking. You know, every kid is different, and to discipline all children the exact same way is absolute atrocious. Every kid is different, so you need to work on it. You need to deal with them separately. I have 4 kids, and I know that from personal experience. 2 of my children, I've learned to be able to talk to them logically. 2 of them, I needed to physically discipline. So I said my piece. I didn't mean to take up your show.
No, we love it. We thank you. No, that's what the calls are for. That's what the phone number I Suck Goats is for people to call. If you call, we're going to let you say your piece because we talk enough. So when the phone rings, you know, we're going to let you guys talk as long as you want to talk within reason. And you said what you said, and you had some good points. We appreciate it, Donnie.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
All right,
turn
buddy.
it off for everybody.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so, you know, I mean, that's, you know, Donnie's.
The phone sounds good. You don't have to mess with the microphone.
Yeah, okay.
Leave the
Cool.
mic alone.
I just don't know. Okay.
Because then that cable wiggles loose.
Yeah.
So.
So Donnie, you know, yeah, I agree with Donnie. The thing with the belt thing to me, and the reason why, and again, I guess it's because I was brought up this way. My dad always used his hand. It's whatever you're brought up into.
That's how you do it.
That's how you do it. So that's what I learned to do. You know, when I spank my kids, I use my hand, and it's a spank right on their behind, right? It's right there. And
That's the way it is.
Occasionally I'll hit the upper thigh because that's below the butt.
Right.
So occasionally your hand's going to hit the upper thigh, but still it's the hand. But the thing about it is the belt, and Derek might actually agree or not, but might like this metaphor. I don't like it either. Because the belt, to me, almost sort of represents
a whip,
a slave master whipping. Exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say. It's almost like a slave master whipping his slave or her slave, and that's why. I mean, and also to me, it almost kind of teaches the kid too that hey, it's all right to go grab inanimate objects and hit people with them. You know, it almost kind of does teach them that.
Yeah.
You know, and it goes back to the whole, the gun doesn't kill people.
Yeah.
The person pulling the trigger kills people. Right? You don't blame the gun.
Welcome, Scarlett.
Yes.
Scarlett,
frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
She's got a great comment here.
Well, I don't give a damn, Scarlett.
What Dad would just give us an evil look, spit in his hands, and I said my dad would just give us the evil look, spit in his hands, and rub them together, and we would immediately freak out and say sorry.
Very good, Scarlett. See,
he never hit us.
That's part of the beginning of parenting. You let that kid know from an early age that it's not the fear of God, it's the fear of you. It's the fear of the parent is what it's the fear of.
Yeah, because they don't have a concept of God yet.
It's the fear. You let them know that it doesn't have to get any further. And Donnie, back to what you said, you let them know that no matter how big you might get later on, because Donnie said the reason some kids have belt shoes on them is because kids now are different breed and they're bigger than their parents. But you know what? If you put that fear in them at an early age, I don't give a shit if your son grows up to be 6'6", 290 pounds, and the dad's only 5'1", 140 pounds. The kid is going to still respect that dad and be scared of that dad. Guarantee it. And that's the way it should be. So
it should be that way.
Right.
The fear of God comes through the Father. Because here's the thing, what the Father does is kind of instill a barrier to which they cannot get out of.
Right.
And it's the same thing with God. You know, God creates a barrier around us.
Right.
But at the same time, he's also, look, God is a daddy. And people forget this. His original rules were...
that's why he was that's why he's called the creator.
Correct. And not only that, check this out, Derek. You're going to like this part.
Okay.
Okay. When God spoke to the Jews, like Ed, he was talking to a little kid. And he would say, if you do this, I'm going to do that. And if you do this, I'm going to do that. And then he starts to show examples of things that went awry because the people didn't listen to God. But then later on, God said, I'm going to send my oldest son who's going to go in there. Now God humbled himself. He said, don't even be like me anymore because you'll all kill each other. Be like him. So God himself humbled himself that he realized, I believe, that he just kind of messed up with the first deal. Although people say, well, God knew beforehand that this was going to happen. I don't think so. I still go back to Adam and Eve. Why did God leave the garden? If he knew Adam was going to screw up, I don't think he would have left the garden. But he left the garden, and I believe
the reason why
because of that.
See, people
let me finish.
Okay.
I believe because of that, God himself felt kind of bad for us and said, wow, you know, I should have been around. That's a lack of him. I'm not saying that God is a lack of being a parent, but I think he put himself in that position. And somehow he sent Jesus, the oldest son. Now how does Jesus talk to us? He talks to us like an older son. You know, hey, don't do this, don't do that, please don't do it. Before it was, if you do this, you're all going to be annihilated. That's the God that we serve. And see, that's the one that people need to think about. He's a father, which means he's a disciplinarian. That's my point.
But going back, Gamer Girl says, because God was showing that people have free will, I'll mean that is my interpretation of that. And see, the thing is, that is why I have to disagree with, don't be like me, be like, well, that's like saying, well, you know, well, don't be like me, be like my son. Basically, you're saying he's proud of his son because it goes back to Abraham, like, look, I want you to sacrifice your son. And since Abraham was getting ready to do it, and he was stopped by one of his angels, he says, well, okay.
The father of faith.
Yes. And when Abraham did that, he's like, well, if he could do that, let me sacrifice my son to help all of humanity, not just Abraham and his descendants thereof. That's why he had that. But I'm not going to say that's like saying a bad parent. If that's the case, then they might as well didn't even let even Noah, you know, or let him, all of us would be just gone. Like, what would be the purpose if we're not going to do that? I mean, that's why we have free will, because, like, look, you have all this. Look, just have. Look, you can eat every tree in the garden except that one.
I think they're lacking this conversation.
Yeah, they are. Let's keep it going. Phone call. We're gonna get you chatters. Hold on. Let's see who this is.
Hello, Morning Roast.
Name, please.
Hey, Three
Put on
Bears.
speaker. Three Bears.
It's
Good
Three
morning.
Bears.
Yeah.
Good morning, Three Bears.
Good morning, sweetie. Put it up high. Put it on that book. There you go.
Okay.
Hello. How are you, Bears?
All right, I would like to say something about this spanking and paddling thing.
Go. It's all your time.
Okay, I don't agree with using an object to hit a kid. But I will have to tell you, when I was in school, I did get hit with a paddle because I left school grounds and was in the middle of the street pretending to be a school bus, and a school bus was trying to get into the lane. But I did get paddled there. The only time I got hit with a belt is when I shot a gun out of my bedroom window when I was 10 years old.
Wow.
Because nobody was home. So I got curious and I loaded the gun.
Wow.
Here you go. So I didn't know how to unload it, so I shot it to the ground. And everybody heard about it, and I got spanked for that. Now, that was my dad and my mom's fault for leaving the gun out to where I could explore that.
Right.
But I do agree that you need to spank your kids in certain situations, just not use an object to do so.
I agree as well. Three Bears, let me ask you a question about this gun thing. Where was the gun? Was it in a closet, on a shelf? Where was it when you got it?
Downstairs in the basement. My dad left us alone when we were kids because my mom was at work and he left for about 10 minutes and that's all it took.
Wow.
I was the kind of kid that was curious about everything.
Right.
But
there was something very telling in what you said, and I might be wrong, but in a way, in a roundabout crazy way, we have to applaud your dad for one thing. Obviously, he taught you about gun safety somewhat because you at 10 years old knew how to load a gun. You knew what you were doing.
Shotgun.
What?
It was a 22 gauge shotgun.
But what I'm saying is you knew how to handle this gun at 10 years old, correct?
Yes.
So your dad, how did you learn that? By watching him, or did he teach you?
By watching him. He never taught me about guns. He didn't want me around him.
Okay, but obviously he was around you with them, loading them, and you saw him do this.
Right.
How did you know? In other words, how did you know
that's
at such a
interesting
young
because
age?
I thought maybe what it was is that he actually, I was giving your dad a little bit of credit here on doing something wrong. That yes, there was a negative to it, but then there was a positive side to it. That yes, he shouldn't have left the gun out there for you to get to, but then in a way that you were 10 years old, able to get it, know not to point it at your brothers or sisters, know not to point it at yourself, know how to load it, and then know how to do everything that you had to do to point it out the window and shoot it. At 10 years old, that's pretty smart.
Yeah, but I didn't know how to unload it, so I shot it to the ground, and my whole entire neighborhood went down to the local store.
But you get what I'm saying, Three Bears. You had a sense of sense because you just unlike Joe Biden who says take a gun out if a burglar's around, shoot it in the air. Not
wave like you just don't care.
Not knowing where the bullet's going to land. Three Bears at 10 years old knew to shoot it in the ground because it possibly...
What goes up comes down.
Yes, it possibly
It's gravity.
So you were smarter at 10 years old than Joe Biden.
She's smart. He's
Yeah, right?
not smarter.
Yeah, because she knows the.
Let her speak.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
She knows the law of gravity.
Go ahead,
Yeah, I was a crazy 10-year-old kid who got into trouble all the time and was so creative that I got into trouble all the time.
Right, but you know what I'm getting at. I'm not trying to give your dad a pass for leaving the gun out so carelessly, but it interested me that you knew at 10 years old because my daughter's 9 years old now, Three Bears, and I own guns, but my daughter has no idea that I have a gun. That's how much I keep it away from my kids.
Yeah.
They don't know, and they sure as hell can't get to it. But you're at 10 years old, and you knew where it was, but not only that, you knew how to handle it, it sounds like.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You're doing better than these thugs running around who don't know how to shoot a damn gun, and they're hitting everything but
I
what
don't
they're...
want to take credit
Well,
for
come
knowing
on.
how to shoot a gun at 10 years old. That's dangerous enough as it is.
Well, it is, but you know what I'm saying, Three Bears. I mean, I know you're not giving your dad any credit for anything because you say he screwed up for leaving it laying around. But I just thought it was interesting that you at 10 years old knew how to grab a gun, you pointed it outside away from everybody, and you shot it in the ground.
Right.
You're a smart kid.
And also in my neighborhood, which really makes me so sad, is there's these 2 and 3 and 5-year-olds who walk around here by themselves, and then they ask my daughter to come along and walk the neighborhood with them, and I can't do that. I'm sorry, that's just not safe in this neighborhood at all, or anywhere nowadays.
Right.
Well, it's time for our next
Very
break.
good. Anything else, Three Bears, before we let you go?
Nope, I'm just glad I got to call because I evidently bitching at the phone company worked.
Yes. Bitching works sometimes.
Yes.
Well, we appreciate the call.
We appreciate you, sweetie. Thanks for everything you've done for the show. And we
All right.
hope you continue to stay with us.
Oh, I will.
Thank you.
Good night, day, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, Three Bears. Well, yeah, I mean,
Three Bears.
she definitely put it on point. You know, she knew the, you know.
Yeah, I mean that was kind of
Yeah,
that was
well,
kind
she
of a
was a
silver.
smart kid.
That was kind of a silver lining to that almost mistake of a story that her dad was too careless to leave the gun out, left them alone. She goes down and grabs it, but then you know it was almost the kind of the glass is half full kind of thing instead
Well,
of half
she
empty.
was curious.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she knew what to do. Obviously, that's why I was like, wait a minute, you must have seen your dad handle this gun to know what to do at 10 years
Right.
old.
Mm-hmm.
You had to have.
Well,
or,
she had
or he
early
taught you.
common sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but you know,
She
but
was an old
you have
soul.
to give her credit. I mean, well, she says that there's some gangbangers don't know how to shoot. Well,
They don't. They don't.
Well, of course.
You're
I mean,
right.
hell, they don't know how to put on a
Well,
pair of pants.
they're holding it like this. They're like, "What's up,
Well,
what's
duh,
up?"
they ain't-
And you
if they don't
shoot
know
a
how to
gun
put
like
on a damn
this.
pair of pants,
Right.
what you
don't
think they're
shoot
gonna be able to
gun.
do a
Yeah.
damn weapon? Come on.
my
They're sagging.
God.
And
She's, they
their
don't even know
gun
how
is
to
lagging.
operate a freaking belt on that damn belt loop and pull the pants. So what makes you think they know how to operate
Right.
a gun?
Right.
Jeez.
All right, we're going to break.
Oh hell, we are. Damn.
Did I play the DSS video yesterday on the show?
No, he didn't play.
Good. I got
Do the
Yeah.
stuff. Do the stuff, Derek. We'll go to break. And
Oh,
then
yes.
I promise this is a great conversation, guys. Thanks for being a part of it. We'll come back with the police stuff. But I mean, I had no idea that last hour was going to go in such a great direction.
Yeah.
I know.
Chatters were great. Callers were great. Everybody's doing a great job.
It's going on 10:02 a.m. Eastern Standard Daylight Time in Macon, Georgia. It's 46 degrees, showering, raining all day. It's 52 for the high, 44 for the low. You're watching the Morning Roast live at the Nut
Yeah,
House
baby.
through
Come
Von
back,
Live
come
TV.
back.
Good
We're
morning,
loving it.
Anonymous. Welcome.
We're
And
loving
we'll be
it.
back.
And Ellen Macon. Hello.
Okay, I got to preface this.
Go ahead.
This is a video that.
Shapiro.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord. Here we
Gamer
go.
Girl, Saibuki, and anybody else that's kind of anti-Shapiro, this is the Shapiro alert.
This is what Shapiro's putting out.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I got this from Gamer Girl. And this
You've
is-
heard of the Amber Alert? This is the Shapiro alert.
Yes.
This is some-
Yeah, I put out an Amber Alert yesterday.
Well, we're putting out a Shapiro alert now.
Hi, this is Serenity Rose Quartermarsh. Welcome
always
back
got these
to the
ugly
recap
women.
show for the month of the songs that did and didn't make it for the DSS TV station internet TV show for Derek Shapiro. Number 10 is Sister Hazel, The Saddest Song. Number 9 is Rolla, a personal friend of
Now I know
mine,
why you're so
featuring
desperate.
Derek Shapiro, Call Me, the video that I am in. Number 8 for the month of 2013, Rihanna, Diamonds. Number 7 of 2013, Sister Hazel,
She
Greatest
looks like a
Hits.
toucan.
I
Number
want to hear
6,
this, though.
J Profane and Rolla,
You get
Radio
mad about her
Ready.
afterwards.
And then we have the songs that made it. Bartender song, Sitting at a Bar. Number 4 is Voice, 808 Days and Nights official music
I go
video.
Coco from Cuckoo
And
Puffs.
my personal friend Latrina C, The Last Dance cover. And then we have another
Just
personal
couldn't hold
friend
it
of
back,
mine,
huh?
Penelope C, with her song Your Love Is Like Magic.
I bet you if
And then
she
we
pointed her
have
head up, you would see
Taylor
like her
Swift,
liver.
I Knew You Were Trouble,
The words of Irving
which is number 1.
Like
And
a
I
gigantic
also
tunnel.
wanted to dedicate a song to my best friend / sister that I recorded the movie tonight, More Out of Life.
Sabuki.
My best friend
Classic.
/ sister, which I am the godmother of her lovely daughter, my beautiful, precious Raina. So I want to dedicate this song to you, Sarah, called Sarah from Starship. And Sarah, say hi to everybody. And there's my hi everyone. That's my beautiful, precious goddaughter.
Oh yeah, I could tell she's not related.
No, Former Mike, she's not wearing camouflage because I can see her. Oh, hell. We're not supposed to
Ain't
show
my
kids.
goddaughter beautiful?
Nice wheels. My mom's. The new
Okay, are we back? We're going to break. Okay.
A record 27 times. She's got.
That was horrible.
They have the really big spring.
The dogs of war howled from North Koreans' television screens Saturday as martial music and mass rallies were the only choice if you were lucky enough to own a TV. A few times the broadcast switched street side to sample what was on the minds of Pyongyang's patriots. We can't take it anymore, said this man. We cannot step back. It's now time to show the jerks a real taste. I'm holding my two fists hard. Kim Jong-un says if the war breaks out, we should mercilessly
Look at how they all do the
crush
same
our
thing.
enemies, this woman said. Crush them so they wouldn't even be able to sign the surrender papers.
You see that?
In fierce tones, TV anchors repeated warnings that
I wonder if
country's
she does
forces were on the highest alert. The video onslaught takes viewers around the globe, smashing America with its fists, hammering home the message that from Kim Jong-un on down, this is a country where everyone yearns to be armed and dangerous. Meantime, here in the South Korean capital, it is a completely different scene. People can see their past, their history. They're looking to a brighter future, one that does not include war.
저는 북한과 별로 전쟁이 날 것 같진 않아요.
I don't think there will be a war. Currently, North Korea just raised up their military alertness. South Korean people are not even interested.
If they wanted to attack, they would have attacked already. North Korea is just threatening.
The colorful changing of the guard ceremony at the gates of Seoul's Guksugung Palace drew a share of tourists as well, daunted by the dire gas.
I'm not nervous, but my family, yes. It's not a war. In this moment, it's relaxed. We were walking around yesterday, and lots of Koreans all seemingly having a fantastic time. They don't seem to be worried. So if they're not worried, we're not worried.
No, fine.
On one peninsula this Sunday, two entirely different views of what lies ahead. Across the north, images of a nation on the desperate brink of war. In the south, a people preparing to go to work Monday morning. Jim Clancy, CNN Seoul.
Wow.
And we are
so close to the end.
back.
It used to be simple pranks like switching the sugar
Derek,
and salt,
can we do it?
but now
Okay, it's
it's
10:08. It's
like
10:08 in about
Twitter
8
and
seconds
YouTube
in the AM.
are getting in on the
We
April
can turn
Fool's
this volume
fun.
down, I guess.
We started
Somebody
YouTube in
please.
2005 as a
My volume's
contest
down.
with a simple goal to
Okay,
find the
hell is
best
going?
video in the world.
On April
We're
Fool's
back,
Eve,
right?
YouTube announced that the site finally
Oh, I'm
has enough
sorry.
entries
I said
to
we
pick
back.
a winner, and we'll
What is this? I'm sorry. I thought you said we're back.
No, I didn't ever say
I said we're back, and you go, yeah.
No, I didn't.
Didn't he say yeah?
No, I don't
I
know.
thought I heard it say yeah. My bad.
You're back now.
I didn't know. I thought I said we're back, and you went yeah. Okay. Anyway,
But anyway, we are
we are
back.
now back.
It's 10:09 a.m.
So you wanted to address the Derek Shapiro video, Irving, right before the one about China. You said you wanted to address the one that Derek Shapiro did.
Hi.
That one that he was about to show.
No, don't come back.
You want her? You want
Yeah.
to address this, right? Yes or no? You want to address it now that we're back?
Yeah. You want to
Well,
address it?
Well, I
yeah,
just wanna,
I
what
guess.
the hell is Derek doing? Is he just again getting more people to damn promote his ass?
He doesn't care.
But who is
He
this?
Does
gets
he
all
believe-
these ugly girls.
Is this his, well,
I
no,
mean-
but that, I'm not going to talk bad about the girls' face. I mean, come on.
Please.
I know, but let's, beauty's not to be beholden.
No.
Shit, Derek
It
Shapiro
is,
might,
no,
Derek Shapiro might think
First
she's
of all,
Sophia Loren.
It's about a girl
you know,
with two
The
babies.
what?
Derek Shapiro might think she's Sophia Loren in
Please.
his eyes. We're not going to talk about her looks. Now, we are going to talk about how
Man,
annoying.
please, Budweiser don't make enough beer to give me that.
We are
to
gonna
think
talk
you
about-
look like Sophia
Yeah,
Loren.
I
I'm
agree,
sorry.
Saibuki.
We are
There's
gonna
only
talk
so
about-
much
I
ugly
can have the
can
liver.
take.
Right.
I can have the
And-
liver
and-
of an African bull elephant. I'm still
Yeah.
gonna be able to get that job.
We can agree her voice is annoying as hell. Okay.
Right.
But beauty's not beholden. Anyway.
Then she shows us two kids. What's the big deal about that?
Well, I don't know why the hell
I wonder if he's watching us now because we're.
What was the point of that video?
We're on DS. We're back on DS.
What was the point about the video?
It was a top
DS?
It was a top 10 list of, I guess, DS's favorite songs of 2013 or some shit.
Funny the way it was.
It was just stupid. I mean, Derek Shapiro is just the guy.
He's a nice guy, though.
Yeah, he's a nice guy, but he's just trying too hard to get everybody and their sister to damn promote him.
And to give him attention.
There's only a 2-second lag between here and his. That's pretty good.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
But the thing is, if you're going to have the list, at least put some titles or fonts or something. Work some fonts or something into the video or something like that.
Saibuki says, oh, no, you already quoted that. Gamer Girl says she was in the movie. She was? Who was she in the movie? Of course, I never finished watching the whole movie. The movie we were in. She says, Gamer Girl says she was in the radio host Amnesia guy movie.
Oh, she was?
I don't know. Who was she?
I don't know, but I listen. Believe me, if I had a relationship with that girl, I would want to have amnesia. I'm serious.
Saibuki says he's a nice guy? It's questioning your thought process, Irving.
Donnie Curry says, have you been looking at my Facebook lately? No, not really.
Donnie, we haven't even been looking at your face lately. Anyway. Okay, she was someone's girlfriend in the movie. Okay. Okay. Well, what can you say about
he said, I took yours and others' advice and took the plunge about getting a website for my leather work. You should.
Mm-hmm. Urban was looking for that hat yesterday to wear.
Yeah, I was looking for it. I still haven't sent it back. I got to send it back.
You're going to keep it, I think.
Nah, maybe.
All right, guys, you ready to go?
I still haven't decided.
You ready to go into the police?
I got to find it. What?
You ready to go into the police update?
Yeah, why not?
Local police update. Let's do it. This is our segment. What I do is I'm getting a couple of Precinct 3 Macon police officer records throughout the week.
They gave you CD and everything?
These two actually came with CDs with the actual interviews with the officer that the complaint was against, one of the other officers that was also with him, and then the woman who has filed the complaint.
We're going to play that?
Well, I haven't listened to them yet. I got these yesterday. But basically what's on this is basically within the transcript too.
Okay.
But I want to hit these two officers. These are the next two officers on Precinct 3, not Channel 3. And as you know, I'm going after Precinct 3.
Yeah.
And the music's fine, just low. Let's first give this guy a good shout out. Okay. Now, he's only been hired since February 13th, 2012. But Officer Matthew Coda, badge 562 of Precinct 3, has received no disciplinary action within the past 2 years.
Perfect.
All right.
Well done.
I will give some kudos to Coda. C-O-T-A.
I agree.
Well done.
No, nothing that we know of wrong with Matthew Coda.
That's good.
So that one's a good one.
Could you close that door, please?
Yes, brother, yes. Now, let's get to Mr. Darius Inzar. Badge number 474, Macon Police Department, Precinct 3.
I could see this coming.
Darius Inzar, hired on March 23rd, close to your birthday, 2010. He has 2 allegations against him. He has, on the date of December 4th, 2012, 1.44 abusive process. Ms. Richardson alleges that Officer Inzar, that's Darius Inzar, harasses people and abuses his authority to make false arrests. On October 9th, 2012, 1.28, under courtesy, Miss Burrell, B-U-R-R-E-L-L, alleges that Officer Darius Inzar was rude and unprofessional when he cursed at her several times and pointed his finger in her face.
Which is what they do.
The incident occurred on June 20th, 2012 on Singleton Street. Disciplinary actions on both of these allegations, no further action taken. Not sustained. Okay? Now granted, it's only 2, all right? And yes, there's the chance that these might just be complaints that are frivolous. Maybe these people were just pissed off at the cop and said, I'm going to complain. But I doubt it too. I doubt it
That
too.
never really happened.
And Irvin, I doubt it too. And I'm going to go further as to why I doubt it. Okay?
And I'll tell you why, in my own personal experience.
Well, you go ahead
why
and do
I
that
doubt
while
it.
I dig this
Why
up.
I doubt it, why I doubt it, is because, first of all, that report sounds like something that they would do. The woman complaining.
Right.
And the fact that she took the time to go down to that office
Right.
to file a complaint. I don't think that a person who, that in fact didn't happen is going to take such steps because she knows that she's putting herself out there.
Right.
Right. That she's now going to be, dealing with the police. So I doubt it very much that in fact did not occur. This did occur.
Right.
And so no matter what, but here's the point really of the crux of the matter is
Right.
that he didn't even get disciplined.
I know, and this goes further. So here we go. And I'm going to bring this up to the next city council meeting. My next city council meeting, which is not this Tuesday, but next Tuesday, the 1st and 3rd of every month, I'm going to address these files I got in front of council. Here's what Inzar said he was doing there when he was called to Adonna Richardson's place. He says he came and gave this statement to Internal Affairs on October 30th. He stated he arrested Ms. Richardson's boyfriend for gang affiliation, and that is the reason she's filing a complaint on him. He said that he does not do any of the things that she accused him of, and that her allegations are completely false. And then it says, see Officer Inzar's statement, which is attached. Okay, and that is attached. Now, here's what Ms. Richardson said when she filled out her report, because that's in here as well. She said, Officer Inzar harasses people. He talks about what you have going on in your personal life. He arrests people on fake charges and is very nasty. He does not feel like he works under the law, but is above the law.
And I would definitely... She sounds more truthful than he does.
Adonna Richardson is... resides on Hillcrest Avenue. Same neighborhood, same street my mom lives on, where I did a lot of my growing up on, from about 8th grade on. Hillcrest Avenue, this house that she lives is not far from my mom's house. I won't give the address.
Yeah.
So this is the Precinct 3 area, of course, because we're talking of Precinct 3.
Give it to him.
Okay. So, Daryl, we got to pass it on.
Don't read it.
Okay. Well, I was just going to pass it on. That's all right. So, as we go, Adonna Richardson has that complaint, okay, against Inzar. The letter's attached from Chief Burns and his lower officers, which are superiors of his patrol officers,
correct,
saying that Ms. Richardson, after further investigation, there is no further action that's going to be taken against Inzar. Basically, no action was taken.
Yeah.
Okay? But here's the little addition to this one. And remember, this is only the first complaint against Inzar. This is only the Adonna Richardson complaint. I haven't even gone to his second one from Ms. Bureau. But here is the really spicy item in the Adonna Richardson complaint. Okay? This is dated the same time as the complaint happened. This is around the same time, which is the September or so of last year. Okay? September, October. Here we go. This is from Lieutenant Daniel from Internal Affairs. He is writing to his captain.
Yeah.
And this, I'm going to post this on Facebook later. I'm going to get this all over the Sammy site. I'm going to get this all out there. I'm going to type this verbatim on the site later. Listen, guys. A Ms. Richardson and a Ms. Willis came into Internal Affairs in reference to some ongoing problems with Officer Sutton and Officer Inzar on Hillcrest Avenue. They had several issues, but the latest was that Officer Sutton did a Stat 4 card on a harassing communications complaint at their residence, which is in Hillcrest. Ms. Richardson wants to prosecute the suspect, but no report was done and no warrant was taken out. She said Officer Sutton always has a nasty attitude with her. They have complained on these officers before, and they spoke with Sergeant Reynolds about it.
Right.
They were not happy with Sergeant Reynolds and would like to meet with you. I told them I would send you an email with their phone numbers so that they could speak to you about this. They did file complaints in Internal Affairs, but would still like to talk to you about the problem.
Yeah.
Miss Richardson's number is blah, 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 and Miss Willis's number is blah, 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 blah. They wanted a different officer to come out and do a Stat 5, but I told them to wait and talk to you about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So here we go. Sutton's name shows up on an officer that's not even Sutton's file.
Describing him.
Yes. Yes.
The way we said.
Yes.
Hey, here's the thing.
Yes.
That officer called us, right?
Which
you remember
one?
that? Which we have a recording of.
Oh, the one that found out is really was Sutton.
Sutton called in.
Yes.
The fact was, we weren't sure whether it was really him, but it turned out that it was him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
That wouldn't have happened had he not had. First of all, I think he was drunk, but he's got a lot of guilt he's got to drop. He's acting out
right
now that the pressure is on him, and he also knows that after everything that happened, even though he's been cleared of the murder of Junebug, it's not over, and he knows it.
Oh yeah, it's gone to the
and
federal
so what
now.
he tried to do was defend himself.
Yes.
And try to make himself look like really just a good guy.
Right.
When in fact, he's not. I mean, he's a murderer, and that's the bottom line. He murdered a guy with schizophrenia.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said to the council, they should have passed a law that said they're going to get tasers, because especially here in Macon, Georgia, as you all know, and I've told you before, we have a lot of poor people and we have a lot of mentally ill people.
Yes.
And the police have not been properly trained here on how to handle that kind of a situation.
Right.
And then, according to your report, on top of that, they harass the people. The people are already stressed out.
Right.
With low economics and no job and a bunch of kids running around. And so he was cleared, but he's not clear at all. He was cleared.
Oh, of course it's not clear.
Based on the fact that, first of all, Vorpalbite, think about this. Think about this for a moment. If that police officer would have gone down, how many people would have been ratted out? And so the blue wall of silence, give him something to hold on to, because if he lets go, everybody's going down in this precinct.
Well, they're going down anyway, because consolidation is taking the police department out of it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's my whole thing, is I'm not letting them get away with what they've been getting away with for years before they are finally disbanded. There needs to be some punishment towards these people that have repeatedly abused their power and punished the citizens of this city throughout not only years, decades.
Yeah.
And that's the obvious part of this, Vorpalbite. It's not going to go away. You can say it's done. He was cleared. He wasn't cleared federally. It's now on the federal level. They're investigating.
Yeah.
And also, the more this crap comes out, because when I go now put this out there, that here is where where no other media outlet has said anything about Sutton showing up on some other police officer's file, Enzar, this only proves more that these people were not lying about Sutton. That everybody's just not picking on poor Sutton, who's a nice guy, that everybody just wants to complain about a nice guy frivolously. This proves more and more that Sutton is a bully, like we said from the beginning. It proves that he is in cahoots with some other officers, because I believe this Enzar guy is trouble.
Yeah.
Off of just 2 complaints, I don't think, like Irvin said, these are just 2 frivolous complaints that were made up.
Let me just, Vorpalbite. Let me answer that. He didn't threaten the city council.
No, I didn't.
So don't make shit.
I don't know
Don't
what the
make
hell
stuff
that means.
up.
Yeah.
And this is not a federal case. Feds aren't going to do anything.
Well, we'll wait and see.
We'll wait and see. They're actually on it. So you're wrong, Vorpalbite.
Okay. Well, let's go to the second complaint. So now, here we are. Darius Enzar, once again. This is badge number 474. Macon Police Department, Precinct 3. This complainant is
rights.
Is Tamika Burrell. Okay, she claims, and this is her response certified letter from the police department from Captain Jim Barbie, Director of Internal Affairs. He tells her on 6/26/2012, you made a complaint to the Chief of Police against Officer Darius Enzar. The investigation has been completed and they're reviewed by the disciplinary review board. A decision has been made, and they are going to take no further action against the officer. If you have any further questions concerning the disposition of this complaint, contact Captain Jim Barbie. Okay, so there's her letter showing that, again, they just took her complaint as meaning nothing. Okay, nothing. Yes, that's what the city does. It's showing they sweep shit under the rug consistently. Okay. And again, Chief Burns' name's in here. You know, after considering the facts surrounding the incident, Chief of Police Mike Burns found no further action not sustained on the allegation regarding disciplinary action to be taken against you. That's the letter to Darius Enzar to say that he is cleared of that. Okay? Well, let's tell you what he did to this lady that she claims he did. She, again, it's the same stuff. It's the same name calling, rudeness, finger pointing, what have you. And I'm flipping to get to it, and it will eventually get to it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this is Miss Burrell, and she claims Darius Enzar was called out to a dispute
in tongues.
on June 20th, 2012. He was very rude, unprofessional, and he cursed at me several times.
Right.
He also put his fingers in my face. And this is from...
Which I believe. I've seen it happen.
Okay. Here is her longer letter, which I'm not going to read the whole letter, but it's an actual copy of her letter. And she wrote this, to whom it may concern, dated June 20th, 2012. On June 20th, 2012, about 10 a.m., a neighbor lives at blah, blah, blah. Yolanda Stafford called the police out by telling him that my friend was going to shoot her with a chopper. That was not the case. Okay. My name's Tamika Burrell. I live at this address. Yolanda called my niece across the street to play with her son. I don't know what my niece does, but she told her to take her little ASS back across the street. It's early in the morning for this. She goes down. She talks about that. Then she says, when she got home, she was at work. They call her. She gets home, and there's 5 cars. Police got out to walk over and talk to her. One of the policemen, Officer Enzar, and Officer Jennifer, which I believe is Officer Jennifer Heidenreich in Precinct 30.
Yeah.
Her name is showing up, I noticed, on a lot of these files too. So she's going to be one of the ones I ask for her file next. Because I'm beginning to think this female Officer Heidenreich might have some problems as well. Because
okay, just in case you're just tuning into all this.
Right.
What we're doing is a recap it.
Right. Basically, I said a few weeks ago I was going to start pulling files randomly on officers from Precinct 3. Precinct 3 is the precinct near my mom's house. It's the whole area that all this corrupt and criminal activity by officers has been happening.
Here in Macon, Georgia.
Yes, not just
right.
with the Sammy Davis shooting,
which
but
is
also
in that
with
area.
in there, but also with things like
tractor theft by the 2 officers,
breaking in the doctor's office.
That's correct.
Stealing 2 guns from a scene of a crime, and then giving
stealing
those guns away to friends.
Each other
this is what police officers did, not civilians. Police officers.
Well, I just want you to know, crew and staff, that what we have done here on Vaughn Live, which I give credit to, is help to expose a lot of police corruption. And it is now going to help the city, I believe. The city's going through a major transition.
Yes.
I myself am a politician here. I'm running for Bibb County Commissioner. And I think that now that we're a lot more open and transparent because of Vaughn, and because of the things that you guys have put out, I want to say thank you for having this.
Right.
You know, for having this. It's better than Facebook to me.
Right. So and I go on. So she says Officer Enzar told her to shut the fuck up.
No language.
Well, I know, but I'm reading this. I mean,
shut the F up.
I know, but
no
I'm quoting.
Language.
I'm not. I know, but I'm quoting this. I mean, if they're gonna pull us because we're quoting a police report, then I'm sorry. I'm gonna lock your ass up. You keep talking. The other officers walked over, asked me what was going on, and I started to talk to the other officers. That's when Officer Darius Enzar put his hands in my face and told me he was gonna lock me up. Okay, and this letter goes on. Okay, again, it's he said, she said, I agree. But come on, do you think this lady's taken all this time to write these letters, right? Put in a complaint to the police department and just make up stuff about Darius
Right,
Enzar?
and
I don't
agree.
think so.
I agree.
And then we also find out in this one here that I did, the complainant was Donna Richardson. We find in this one that Enzar is hanging out with Clayton Sutton. You know, they're together in this particular incident. I mean, and Clayton Sutton again is not shown in good light. I mean, come on, people. Graybeard has a good point. Maybe that area, Precinct 3, is where the cops put their troubled cops. Might be.
Yeah, you might be right.
But
yeah.
you know, you
So
lump them all
basically-
together, you got a troubled precinct.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been screaming
So
for how
basically-
long, guys? That I've been screaming, is this Dirty Harry movie Magnum Force, where you have a subculture of bad cops within the police department that are running rampant and being what they want to be, doing what they want to do. You know, the interview, when we interviewed Officer Sutton on here, we found out it was him. He laughed it off, remember? He specifically brought it up because he mistook Clint Eastwood for John Wayne. In the interview, he says, that thing you said about John Wayne movie, that we're not, Precinct 3 is not a corrupt precinct. You know, he laughed it off.
Wow.
If you
So
play
it's
the
basically
interview
more
back.
of a
So he's been watching.
So it's a
Well, no, this
so
is
it was
our
Sutton
interview with
4.
them.
So it's a
Yeah, but he was a Sutton 4
so
guy.
it's more
Calm
like
down.
a precinct
No,
He was
slash.
a Sutton 4 guy.
No. The interview on our show was Sutton.
I know
That was
that.
Sutton. That wasn't a fall guy.
I'm telling you that he was Sutton 4 all that time.
304.
304.
304.
Yeah, 304.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
That's all I'm
crazy.
saying.
But what I'm saying, but I'm not saying the chat. I'm saying in our interview with him on this show, when you play the interview back, he laughs off the idea of me saying this is like Dirty Harry's movie Magnum Force.
And then I go back to the point that he was probably Sutton 304.
We established
So he had
that.
been watching the show.
Yeah. So anyway, there we go. So Matthew Cota, fine, upstanding policeman. He has no problems with his record. I will also give him kudos. I'm not going to just go after the bad apples. I'm going to also announce when we have some good ones. But Darius Enzar, I don't trust you. You have two right now that your chief found in favor of you, 2 complaints, but I don't trust you. I don't trust you. I think right now, I'm going to say it, Darius Enzar is going to end up having a record like Clayton Sutton. 28 complaints, 27 complaints. This is the road Enzar is going. Guarantee it. And I'm going to keep an eye on you. I will talk about this at the next city council meeting. I will post this stuff on the Facebook pages later on the Morning Roast Facebook page. Please like it. I'm going to post it on the Justice for Sammy Junebug Davis Jr. Facebook page. Please like it. I'm going to post it on Heather, my wife's page, and I'm going to share it with Irvin, Derek, Ed, everywhere else.
It'll get around.
So, now my other little point about it. When I went to pick this up, I told you I ran into somebody there.
Yes.
It was the young kid from WMAZ Channel 13 that has been on the Sammy case. You know who I mean, Irvin?
Yeah.
Ooh.
The young, what's his name? The white kid that 13 sends out to all the Sammy rallies and stuff.
His name Todd
or something. Tom?
Yeah.
Anyway, I walk into the records department to get these yesterday, and who's in there?
Oh.
He is.
Who?
He is the young white kid with the dark hair that is doing the Sammy beat for WMAZ. You know who I mean?
I know.
The white kid.
Yeah.
Okay. He's in there getting a record.
What? Getting a record?
He's getting a record. He's getting an incident report. He sees me. He says hi to me. I say hi back, you know. He sees me, and he's in line right before me. And you know what incident report he was getting?
What?
The Montpelier Avenue car tire slashing report.
That's wonderful.
He was getting it for 13, right?
You gotta get it.
Well, no, you know what it tells me is, again, who's on top of the ball? Where is the other media now going? They're following us.
Yep.
Because I brought up first the whole Montpelier thing might be a reaction to the police and what they did to Sammy. And I went to city council and said this, and now here's the young kid who has been on the Sammy Davis case. They're the one, 13 put him on that job. They gave him that story. and he shows up and he's getting the incident. And when he asks for it, the lady comes to the gate. The lady comes to the window and says, "Yeah, I would like the incident report for the Montpelier Avenue police car tire slashing." And I looked over at him and I smiled and I said, "Oh, so you're interested in that too?" And he kind of just like smirked and nodded. And I said, "Yeah, we already addressed that on the show this morning, and I addressed it last night at City Council." And he just kind of looked at me and went, "Oh, okay," you know. And so he sat there waiting to get it. And then I, of course, had the lady come up to me and say, "Yeah, can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah, I'm here to pick up files on these two officers, you know, blah, 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 pay for them." So I just thought it was very interesting, guys, that the 13 guy who's been on the story for Sammy is now interested in finding out more about the Montpelier Avenue tire slashing incident.
Wow.
Very
a lot of stuff going on in the city.
I love it when I love it when a little old show, a little old engine like us that says we think we can,
and we do,
we do,
and we do,
and we do.
Cheers, guys!
Cheers!
To the morning
and by
roast.
the way, I want to say happy anniversary. I think
Yes.
today's the day that we started the show. No,
no, that was
7
September
months.
10th. September 10th. Not quite. 6 days away. It would be 7 months.
6 days away. Yes.
6 days away.
And
thank you, chatters,
7
viewers.
months.
We love you all, and thank you for your opinions, and whether you agree or not.
Speaking of chatters, I was reading that Daryl is from Nashville, Tennessee. I wanted to ask him if Daryl, if you're still there, are there any type of programs for Dr. King today? Because I forgot to mention this. In case no one doesn't know, 45 years ago today, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated at the Lorraine Hotel.
Early morning, April 4.
In Memphis, Tennessee.
A shot rings out in the Memphis sky. That's what
Thank
that's
you,
what the
Bear.
U2 song's about.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. In the name of
He says, "I'm honestly not sure."
What
Okay.
more in the name
I just
of
missed that
love?
question. I was coming in.
Yes.
Play U2.
Well, you just asked the question.
He didn't ask.
Oh, I was asking Daryl if there were any programs in Memphis commemorating Dr. Martin Luther King. And he said,
You know, today on April 4, back what year?
1968.
68, MLK was shot.
45 years ago
Volker
today.
White says
I said,
he
play
doesn't
the U2
understand
song. Pride
the
in the name
importance
of
of
love.
Dr.
That's what
King.
that's
Of
about.
course not. Of course
Volker
not.
White
Because
says
you're
what?
still in your
And
mindset from like the 17th
And James
century.
O'Reilly, the alleged, the assassin who he died 30 years later in 1998 in prison.
Yeah.
So let me get something here, guys. Since I was rambling, Daryl, let me ask you something. Daryl, are you a representative for Vaughn or a moderator? What are you,
Yeah,
Daryl?
I'm on.
Okay, let me ask you a few questions, Daryl, while you're on here, because we don't have this a lot. So let's take
Yeah,
advantage
let's
of this
take
guy. Okay, let me ask you something. Maybe you can help. And I know the obvious answer, but I want to find out what started it. Why is Vaughn just so much a stickler about children? I understand the whole pedophilia aspect of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, why is it... I can understand saying no to showing, like, the twerking video.
Yeah.
But why are they such a stickler about, let's say... Like, we didn't know that day when my two kids were here because they had to be with me because they were out of school and my wife went to work. Why such a stickler just about the kids, like, coming through and being on the show in that way?
Yeah, for example,
Right.
there's a video about the 6-year-old master guitar player.
Right.
I can't
Exactly.
play it.
The stuff like that. Why can't
Or
we
the
just...
6-year-old breakdancer.
Why can't we honor...
Yeah.
Why can't we honor and show
Okay.
great, talented young kids that are positive role models? I mean, why is this site so much against that? And maybe you'll have more information, but... And I understand the whole pedophilia aspect, but come on. You can't just lump everything into everybody's going to be a pedophile when they see a kid.
I
Right.
see some of their comments it's for adults. Adults only. Adults.
I know, but then in a way it's kind of...
I think it's
But
more-
in a way it's kind of backwards because then it's for adults, but then they turn around and go, don't use those words. They want to sound like romper room. You know what I mean?
All right,
let's face it,
bias.
Daryl, let's face it. Adults swear, Daryl. That's the way adults talk. I'm sorry, that's life.
Sorry, Daryl. This is Anthony.
So, but I'm just being honest. I'm
All
just
right,
being
you-
honest.
You said an answer.
Okay, what is it?
Well, the short answer is we have no kids policy, And if you make an exception for on, then you have to make it for all.
And I agree, but then if we're trying to be adult-like
Who
here,
said you can't swear?
well, we got notes going. Wait, watch your language.
I don't give a fuck about cussing.
Right? Well, who just gave this message about language? What are you guys sending me? Watch the language, Irv. I mean, what am I getting mixed message?
thought there would be
The guy
good
just
language.
said you can swear.
Thank you, Daryl, for clarifying that, because
Daryl, thank you.
Anthony does swear.
I know. And look, guys, did you
Anthony
guys
swears.
not send me this? Did you guys not just send me this that says
Yeah.
watch the
Yeah.
language? Well, Daryl didn't say that, guys. We can't be. I mean, this. I'm glad. Thank you.
Ed
Because
gave me that.
I don't get it, Ed. What was the sense of that? Because it didn't make sense. He's like, we can't have kids on here because we're adults. but then he's like, but don't swear. We gotta talk like Sesame Street.
Why do you gotta make a big deal out of everything?
Because you did. You handed me this, and I was about to read it. You guys go, don't read it. Don't read it.
Well, I think it's.
geez.
Hold on, guys, calm down.
Come on.
I think it's important.
No, you just wanted to do something important, which wasn't important. That was bullcrap. We can swear. All right, thank you. Go fuck yourself.
Swear all you want.
Oh, jeez. Yes, let's see if you.
All right, guys, let's calm
Okay.
it down. This is
Okay.
a show. We'll take the-
Daryl, you answered my question. Thank you. That's all I wanted to know.
Well, then
because
why does it say one language?
that's what I'm
in the
questioning.
rules?
That's what I'm questioning.
I like that answer. That's why I said that.
Okay, Ed.
China.
Ed asks a good question, Daryl. Why does it say that in the rules about the what? Swearing.
What do they use? The word swearing or no foul language?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I just think let's have free speech, Daryl, as much as we can. We're all big boys here and girls. You know, that's my.
I don't, to my knowledge. Okay, that's honest.
Cool.
No, and here's the
Thank
thing.
you for your answers,
I'm glad that we did this because now we know the rules of the road. I think it's
Right.
important that we stick to them.
It just seemed kind of like it was
A little over the
hypocritical
top.
because they're like no kids because it's an adult forum and people are adults, but then they're trying to turn around and say we got to talk like romperoo, like we can't swear. And I thought, wait a minute, this doesn't.
This
make
is coming
sense.
from a guy who called the mayor in his heckling. You're not a nice
God.
man.
Because he said it. You guys don't understand. They've missed this completely. Guys, I was emulating him. He says you're not kind. And I went back with him, well, you're not kind. It wasn't that I said he wasn't kind first. I was basically giving him a tit for tat.
I misinterpreted it. Okay. First
Okay.
of all, it says don't be boring. Number one for you.
Well, we already lost
Don't be
that.
boring.
We already lost
Okay.
that.
But the
cut
other-
us for that, Daryl.
No racism, no violence, threats, no illegal
Give
activity.
credit where credit's due.
Yeah.
No
All right.
illegal activity.
Okay.
I thought it said language too. No nudity, no sexually explicit content.
Okay, so now the word nudity has been added. Because at first it only
We
said
showed
no
his
sexual.
8-year-old picture yesterday.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
But
Well,
that's not nudity. I'm just saying that's.
But that's a kid.
yeah. I
Well,
was,
see,
yeah,
that-
that was back when I was back
But
in
see,
the fifth grade.
that's
you
why
know.
I think that's kind of a little too much when you say no kids. But I know what Daryl's saying. Daryl's trying to say basically we have to cover the whole gamut so that there's nothing falls through the cracks.
Okay,
Well,
so you can
time
cuss.
for wordsmith.
As long as you can cuss, we're okay.
Yeah, well, that's what we do here.
Yeah. Anyway, we got wordsmith here. Sabuki already sent the page number and the entry number, page 223 and entry number 4. So I'm on page 223. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and
Carnival Cruise is going off.
4. Okay. The word of the day from here, from Bloomsbury Dictionary of Word Origins by John Ato, sent by Sabuki. Today's word is feed.
Yay!
Obviously not on our young because it's illegal. But anyway,
But we're going to feed on some twerks.
All right,
Feed.
what is feed?
F-E-E-D. Feed was formed from the noun food in prehistoric Germanic times. It comes from via Old English fedan, F-E-D-A-N, from the Germanic Fothian, F-O-T-H-J-E-N, a derivative of Fothon, F-O-T-H-O-N.
Which sounds like fuck you.
the noun.
Oh, come on.
Well, we can say that.
The
don't
noun
need to.
Girl's
from
gonna go crazy.
the
But
noun
we don't need to go there.
the
dude.
noun from which modern English food is descended. It's
love it.
used as a noun for food, fodder, and dates from the 16th century.
Yeah. That's great.
Yes.
16th century word.
Thank you, Saibuki.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Derek. Thank you, everybody, for listening to that.
Thank you.
Okay, can I go back to this before we jump too much? Because I said earlier that I was going to address this letter to the editor about a topic when we were on that topic.
All right, well, keep talking.
This you're going to like. You're going to like. This was in the April 2nd Telegraph, Tuesdays. This is from a Sharon Dean out of Macon. Letter to the editor. She says, time to let it go. The recent killing of Sammy Davis has one conclusion. Enough is enough. The matter still headlines the newspaper. Marches continue. This will not rectify the matter or bring Davis back to life. I'm also appalled that a former policeman, now a city councilman, Henry Gibson, has joined forces with the great C. Jack Ellis to show his biased opinion.
Oh.
He has not said once what his reaction, if any, would have been. Think, people, this is what you elected. I'm neutral, and I do wish all, including the media, would let the Davis and Sutton families rest. Davis is gone. Officer Sutton's career in law enforcement is shattered. He would be wise to relocate into some other career field. In the long run, he will be lucky to be a security guard at a car dealership due to the public reaction and kangaroo courts that have proven him guilty. One question I do not have answered or heard asked. What if it had been a black shooting, a white, as happened in December 2012? Think I have the answer. Nothing. The editors reply to her and say, Frank Reeves, accused of killing Linda Honeycutt in December, is awaiting trial. He was granted bond last month. She was referring to the black man in the wheelchair who shot the woman who he claimed bumped him in his wheelchair when she pulled into a gas station.
Yeah.
He pulled out a gun, shotgun,
Yeah,
shot
but
the woman.
he didn't really have a right to do that.
No, he didn't. But
And he did go to jail.
He did. That's the thing. It's apples and oranges. These people keep bringing up this Frank Dix Reeves guy, and the thing about it is he did go to jail.
Yeah.
Sutton didn't. So
He did.
I know that's what's so stupid.
He got out and he's back in.
Yeah. So the thing about it is, you know what? If they had put Sutton in jail originally, we wouldn't be screaming this, right? We wouldn't be.
And you are screaming this.
I am, because I'm tired of it. This lady is just part of this same mentality that wants to continue to sweep shit under the rug. Can we get on? Can we forget about it? Can we let the guy go on?
No,
and
it's
get
not
away?
going to happen.
No, it's not. So anyway, I wanted to read that, Sharon Dean's letter. Thank you for your opinion, Sharon Dean, but I don't agree with you. And I don't think neither do these two. Or three.
No, not at all.
All right, I've talked enough. You guys go.
Yes,
we
thank
still
you,
got to do
please.
each.
Thank you. I'm glad
We
you
still got to
noticed.
do each your words. Well, guys, what you don't know is Ed said it was about him today, but he passed on his about him to me. He just didn't tell you guys when he told me that.
Oh,
I'm just kidding.
okay. Well,
We got to do each your words. We got to do daily bread.
that's
We have
right.
to do each your words. And what else, guys?
And we got to close out. We only got 15 minutes.
Well, let me go ahead and do eat your words. And I'll shut up. And I'll
Go
shut up
to
for
the
10
each your
minutes.
words.
Actually, if you got a story, do a story first. If not, then I'll eat some words.
I probably do.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you
Now
are
this is
about
what you
to
should have been playing.
The names have been changed
Tomorrow,
to protect the
Thursday.
innocent.
Today is Thursday, April 4th, 2013. I carry a badge. Anthony B. Harris is going to talk about Eat Your Words.
I love it. I love those voices.
Go fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Thank you, Daryl.
Swear now. Thank you, Daryl.
Daryl,
You know, I got friends that watch these videos, and I got a message last night, as a matter of fact, that said, I was looking at some of your videos. The language.
Well,
he says, what's going on with you? Everybody's all worried about my Christianity.
Get into
They
it.
weren't
It
worried
happens.
about it when I was struggling in church.
Get into it. Language is there to speak. Okay? If you don't like it, don't watch. Here we go. This is a good one. This is a couple of, I guess, poet on poet action, I'll say.
Yeah.
This is Claude
Balls.
de Salmace.
Come on, you're making this longer than it needs
Better
to be.
known as Salmasius.
Yeah.
He existed from 1588 to 1653. Salmasius on, we've all heard of John Milton, right? John Milton, we all know of the
Paradise Lost.
great writer,
Yeah.
great poet. Well, this is what Salmasius thought of Mr. Milton. Having never had any mental vision, he has now lost his bodily sight. A silly coxcomb, fancifying himself a beauty, an unclean beast, with nothing more human about him than his guttering eyelids. The fittest doom for him would be to hang him on the highest gallows and set his head on the Tower of London.
Wow.
This has gone beyond. This has gone beyond eat your words, man.
Chop this guy's head off and put it up.
This has gone beyond eat your words.
That's really what he was saying.
But according to Urak and Irv, if this guy said this now, they would lock him up in jail for 30 years. Right?
Never know.
Right?
It's a threat.
Yeah, some Macy's, you're not kind.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I love it.
That was great.
Exactly.
Okay.
See, politically correctness has gone stupid now. Back in the old 1588s to 1653s,
they were really insulting.
Salmasius didn't pull any punches.
Well, you should see some of the insults
He was
they
going
gave
ham. Yes, he was.
Some of the insults they gave Abraham Lincoln were appalling.
Oh, I love it. But see, I love free speech. I love being able to talk to people like that if you want to. If that's the way you feel, damn it, say it. And they can say something back to you just the same.
Yeah.
Oh, screw all this like mum's the word.
All right, it's time for
Dun, 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 dun.
the Daily Bread.
This was a great show today, guys.
Okay, we're going to April what?
Now Sabuki's saying April 4th. Sabuki's saying, I'm getting the hell out of here. It's story time. And Sabuki's saying...
Gerald enjoying the show. His first
Okay.
Yes.
Supernatural surveillance. Isn't that funny? We were talking somewhat about that.
We were talking about feed.
Yeah, you're on a surveillance of these guys, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And
we're also being surveilled.
Yeah, no
I'm
doubt.
Sure.
That's true.
Right.
I forgot about that point.
Right.
I forgot about us.
Right.
Okay.
Perfect.
Not too loud, Ed. Not far from my house, authorities have rigged a camera to snap pictures of drivers who race through the red lights. The offenders later receive in the mail a ticket along with a red light photo, which is a virtual proof of their traffic violations. I used to hate those in New York. Sometimes I think of God in the same way. I think of that camera. He's up there just waiting to catch me doing something wrong. While God does see our sin, Hebrews 4:13, he sees and takes interest in our good deeds as well. Due to his supernatural surveillance, God sees the size of our sacrifice when we give money to the church or those in need. Mark 12:41-44. He bears our private prayers. Matthew 6:6. And when we fast, we carry on the usual, being assured that our Father sees in secret. Verse 18. Knowing that God sees everything frees us from thinking about the watchful eyes of others. When we do what is right, we need no applause from onlookers. When we sin, we do not need to worry about our reputation once we settle the issue with God and anyone who's been harmed. We can rest knowing that the eyes of the Lord run into those and to and fro throughout the whole earth, to show himself strong on behalf of those whose hearts are loyal to him. Thank you, Lord, for all your seeing nature. You know everything I can think and do. Help me to value your approval and live according to your standards, no matter what anyone else may think.
That was perfect.
Yes.
Read that one sentence right there, because that just nailed what we've been saying on here for a while. It was so perfect with today. The thing about applause.
Yeah, we do not need applause.
We do not need applause.
From
right
onlookers.
here. When we do what is right.
Correct.
We need no applause from onlookers like Vorpelbite.
Correct.
I added that part. When we sin, we do not need to worry about our reputation. But can I write in this? Can I circle that?
Yeah, go
I just
ahead.
want to write.
You like that, huh?
Well, I just like that this part about being right and not needing applause is very apropos with this. What we've been doing about this Sutton and Sammy Davis thing.
That's true.
That is awesome.
That's God.
And you know what? Yeah. And you know what's even better is surveillance goes with his word of the day.
Which was
feed.
Feed.
Another word for feed is you feed something through a wire. Information. You feed. Surveillance feeds you the video.
And God feeds us a brain to have.
See, this is a case where the show just flowed and the flow came together.
It's a Holy Spirit flow.
This was one of our best shows. I'm rating this close to a 10.
Wow.
Close to a 10.
Can't believe that one.
We didn't have any technical difficulties, did we?
Damn, I wish I was recording it.
Yeah. You did. No, really. We didn't have technical difficulties. We had great calls.
That's because I rebooted everything before you guys.
We even had a visitor.
We had Daryl, who explained the
We had the
rules.
staff guy too, and another guy. I forgot his
And
name.
you know what? We talked about some good shit.
Yeah.
Daryl.
Not just Irvin's
Yeah.
shit.
Daryl, that's a good word. Shit. We talked about some good shit.
Well, and let me just say this. Not only did we talk about good stuff, but we also were well behaved while the staff was on.
Well, we don't have to behave. He's got to know that we're sometimes not well behaved.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can swear now.
That's part of the show. Is I want the show to still be what it is, even if staffers are on. You know, I mean, we're trying to go by the house rules. We appreciate that, but also we want you to know that we're kind of wacky and crazy, Daryl. If you haven't gathered.
Well,
that.
he's gone now.
Oh, okay, we'll pass.
I
this
guess
message on.
we bought the hell out of him.
Yeah. No, he just
said
probably,
these guys aren't that in.
So we never made it to first, right? We made it to second, and now we're on third. We're at the third, right?
Yeah.
Third. Okay. Well.
Yeah, we made it up. To
So I
number
guess
two.
we didn't get rid of the guy doing this. He kept first the whole day, right? The whole
Yeah.
morning. Okay.
Who cares?
Well, let's do the roster, man. Let's say goodbye. It's Thursday. Tomorrow's Flippant Friday.
Yes.
Let's do the roster. Let's answer Chatters. Chatters.
You're
the
right,
best.
Anonymous. I agree.
What did he say?
He says when they're here, don't derail the whole damn show.
Exactly. Just be who we are, man. We shouldn't change. That's not who. That's not the show. If we start changing because we worry about who's in here.
Yeah, that's true.
That's not us.
Just want to thank City Bum, Donnie Curry, Graybeard Shaman, Rosalind Nicole, Vorpal Bite, Gamer Girl, Ellen Macon, the Three Bears, All Seeing Eve, Because 77, My Nuts Itch, Scorpion, Strange Place, Anonymous, and G Manzalato. And what was the new person that was there? James Anderson.
Yeah,
and,
thanks you, Anderson. Come back. I mean,
Yeah, please come back.
No,
And
no,
what was it?
they got him out of there.
What was it? Eve, wasn't it? Yves Lopez?
Yeah.
Blackvez? Is it?
Yeah, it was Daryl and Eve's.
Coffee Guy was on for a short time. Coffee Guy came in with
But
something.
And Eve Plastic
This
Canvas.
guy James Anderson was hitting on Gamer Girl, doing something with Gamer Girl.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I just noticed that
Yeah,
he was
Gamer Girl
getting mad at
muted
Vorpal
him.
Bite.
Somebody else did
Yes,
something
and
to him.
Also, thank you, Nick and Lynn.
Nick and Lynn? Yes.
It's been a very good
G-Man, G-Man Salato.
show. Scratch him, Derek.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You said it. Thank you, Rosalind.
Thank
we gotta,
you.
We got to voice that with our lips to Rosalind. We always
Yes, thank
appreciate
you very much.
Rosalind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we still got 2
All right.
minutes. We got 2
Yeah.
minutes. I like this. We can slowly get out of here. So what do you want to do today? So you want me to come get you and take you to that forum?
Yeah.
All right. I'll call you and let
Are
you
you
know.
going to step in?
I might, but I'm going to have Elizabeth with me, and she's got to go to rehearsal at
Right,
7.
right. But you have an hour.
Yeah. We'll see. But we'll do that. Well, unless something comes up.
I think she would appreciate it.
Yeah,
Especially,
you know.
she likes you.
Who?
Elaine.
Well, she likes me right now. If she
Well.
read some of my old posts long before all this Sutton stuff and Davis stuff happened, she wouldn't like me because I'm not a fan of her as far as the way she runs stuff. I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of her. I mean, I don't have a problem with her happening to side with me on this particular thing we're doing, but
Well, she's only siding with you because it's right.
it is, yeah. And that's what the saying goes. Sometimes we can put our differences aside, right, when we agree
Yep.
on something. So.
All right, guys. That's it.
Ed,
That's pretty
thank
much
you
it.
very much for all you do, Ed.
Thank you, Ed.
We appreciate MSA.
Thank you very much.
Let's
We
give
really
Ed-
do.
Let's give Ed a little promotion real quick. It's all about Ed today. He didn't want it, but we'll say this: if you need Ed for your karaoke
became about you.
stylings,
Yes.
no, that's tomorrow. If you want Ed for his karaoke stylings, you hit Ed up. You can call him
You should
here.
put your card up, Ed.
Well, you can call him here at I Suck Goats, and Ed will do karaoke for a
Mm-hmm.
fee. Ed also works on computers. Pretty good about that stuff.
Very good on
What
that.
else, Ed? What else do you want to promote? Hurry up. It's your time. We got a minute.
He does computers, too. He
End of the
fixes
show?
them.
Okay. Well,
Sure.
we're giving you all about you, Ed.
Yeah, it's alright.
So anyway, do that for Ed. Gamer Girl puts lots of hearts out for Ed.
Yes.
Gamer Girl loves everybody but me.
She knows you're a pain in the ass.
I've seen hearts on you.
Who could stand you?
Yeah,
That's
but
true.
yeah,
That's true.
plus you married, so you already
your
got
wife stand?
plenty.
And you're married.
That's true. Woo! Love you, Heather. Love you.
She
Max.
loves Ed.
Love Elizabeth, my family. Oreo the rat. Zero the.
She just don't love pandas.
Look, she gave you 4 hearts.
Caesar.
She just gave you 4 hearts.
Wow! I moved up on you, Ed. Look, as a group, we got 1 heart from her for guys. Ed got 3. I got 4. Irvin's gonna get like 10 hearts. Why?
No.
Because Irvin's the one she really loves.
Bye.
Bye bye. See you.
11
folks.
o'clock.
See you.